Folks say that grown-up men are still just little boys, that really the only difference is the price of our toys. We go for macho symbols like guns and running shoes, pickup trucks, hunting ducks, and power tools, power tools, power tools. Yeah, you just plug them in the wall and think of all you can do. You can plant a garden, fix your car, build a house if you want to. If you got
It's the Home and Garden Show. We're brought to you by the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, wet basements, floods, everything. Life happens, and Michaelis happens to help you through it. Their number is 844-FIX-INDY. This is a Home and Garden Show, and we're at 71st and Keystone for Pansy Roulette. This is an annual event that Pat came up with. Pat's on vacation today, taking a little bit of a break, but Allison Lemons is here. Hey, Allison.
Good opening, Denny. Good job.
Just follow the music. And my buddy Jack Phipps from Allisonville Home and Garden. Hey,
Good morning.
Back in studio, we got Landon Coons. Landon, it's good to have you back, cowboy.
It is an honor to be back, guys. It feels good. It feels right back inside.
All right. So, Landon, you're going to be the quarterback because we do not have a call screener here. So you're going to tell us who's on. We're going to encourage people to call 317-239-9393. I think that's our only technical issue today. And we'll take your calls. Jack really is a pro's pro. Whenever I go up to Allisonville, if I've got a question, I'm always trying to track him down, he or David, one of the two. But if you've got questions about planning and you don't want to deal with Pat's smart mouth, Jack's your guy. Jack's your guy.
Happy to help.
Happy to help. And we'll be taking your phone calls. Hey, I put out the yellow flowers. Do you guys know what the yellow flowers are all about?
As soon as I walked through the door, you started speaking Spanish. So I'm assuming it has something to do with the Spanish heritage.
It's a Spanish heritage from
A special
Mexico.
holiday.
Yeah, Flores Amarillos. And I never heard of it, but I was doing a Google Trends for class, and it popped up that everybody was doing a Google search on it. And it's on the back of your sheet there. It has to do with this symbolization of spring, the equinox, and it's supposed to bring on optimism, sun, fun, and warmth. What do you think?
I love that.
I love the idea of that. I don't know if we've exactly had that yet. I will say the first day of spring ended up being, 50?
Yeah. It was crazy, Allison.
And 2 days before, it was 70. So
yeah.
thanks, Indiana.
It's Indy
But that's
for you.
okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Indiana.
We're finally here. We made it. I feel like we finally made it through winter.
I tell you what.
February is so long.
Isn't it, though?
It's just gray.
And it's only 4 weeks.
I know.
mean, it's 28 days, and it seems like a century.
Well, now we're 22 days into March, and it still kind of feels like the tail end of February.
We're just now getting started.
Yeah. Do you remember the old sayings? March comes in like a lion, goes out like a lamb. April showers bring May flowers. I don't know what happened, but somewhere in the cosmic of science, something got mixed up, and Indiana got left out of that one. Allison, we've got gardening seminars today. Do you want to tell us about them?
Yeah, speaking of spring, we are here at Sullivan's 71st and Keystone location for the spring open house. So the big thing here is Pansy Roulette, which Denny was talking about, and we'll get to that in a minute. And then we also have free seminars, which I think is cool. I don't know if we talk enough about it, but we have seminars all day today going on at Keystone location and Allisonville.
Yep.
So we have the Pollinators and Natives class, which is about pollinators and native plants. That's at 11.
It's a great.
We just get to the point. So that's at 11 a.m. And then we have Planting 101 at both locations at 1. And then there's some container planting demos at 10 and 2. So our first thing is going to be at 10 o'clock here at Keystone. Jenny's going to show you how to do some container planting, which is great because I've tried that and it seems easy. It is not. It's easy to mess it up. And I think Jack later on will do a little Facebook Live and he'll show us if you guys can't make it out today. We can do that.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
That's our craft corner.
All right, so we better get to this Pansy Roulette because it's not confusing. The one thing you got to remember is when you grab your pansy as you walk through the door, don't open it. Because if you open it, they're not going to honor it. You've got to wait. Oh, my goodness, look who's here. And, if you open it, then you got to get another pansy because they're not going to let you pull that off.
Yeah, so basically you just go around, shop your heart's desire, and then at checkout we have a whole bunch of pansies out, and they have a percentage off that's hidden. So it's between 10 and 100%.
100%.
Okay.
There's 100% out there.
Okay, and a couple 50s. Do you want to tell them the secret, though, about the 10%? For radio
Already?
listeners. Yeah.
Already? We're
Well,
going
it's
to
for
tell them
radio
the secret?
listeners
All
only.
right. So there is no 10%. We just have 15 and up.
Except, except for me. Pat always gave
Well,
me
yeah, you have a special pansy. It says full
It
price.
says loser on it.
But that includes everything from home decor items, all the garden accents and pottery stuff. We have the entire bird department, grill accessories, gourmet food items, and of course, all the live plants and seed packets. So today is a great day to start off your spring shopping.
Boy, is that not true.
And also, if you are just in the mood for some patio furniture, we still are doing an extra 10% off the 30% they have here at Keystone. So they're going on some great deals as well. But
And there's a lot, too.
oh my gosh, and there's a lot of new stuff that I haven't even seen yet that is really cute. So yeah, today is the day for spring, whether it feels like it outside or not. We're gonna make it here.
Okay, so let's
Feels
go
like it
through
in here.
let's go through the things that are eligible for Pansy Roulette. We'll assume the rest of the stuff's not. So what is on Pansy Roulette?
Home decor items.
Okay,
So anything at the Yellow House or the decorating area, Bill, I don't know what you call it.
so
gift shop.
that
The gift shop, yeah.
all the accoutrements are here on the gazebo and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and then we have garden accents and pottery. So all the
That's pretty straightforward.
yeah, pottery. We have tons of stuff here.
Ton of pottery, indoor, outdoor, that's come in.
Yeah.
And that's all included. All the trellises that we got.
Oh, that's a good one. Trellises, yeah.
Hey,
That's-
Tomato cages if you need to stock up.
Before we go through the rest of it, tell me about the pottery. It used to be that when I would pick up pottery for my family or whatever, it was heavy, heavy stuff. Or is pottery considered anything that's plastic too?
Yeah, so that
because
would
there's
include
some beasts.
The lightweight pottery. So some
Yeah.
of that big kind of heavy duty but lightweight plastic pottery is included. And then that heavy ceramic as well.
That works for me. All right, so we got bird accessories or bird department. Is that bird food basically in houses?
Yeah, we got tons of bird seed, really cute bird houses, and if you find a bird, there you go. No, I'm just kidding.
Which we do have those in here. We got gourmet
Anything
food
bird
items.
related.
Yeah.
Live plants. There's not a lot of live plants, but I'm assuming that includes trees and shrubs.
So
Oh,
Benny, I'm going to stop you right there.
yeah,
and say
what a liar.
We have quite a
I
bit of
walked back there and I didn't see any
plant
flowers.
material in. So pansies are all over the property. And then the nursery stock's coming in. Not as many perennials, but if you need some, helleborus or creeping phlox, we have those at both stores.
I saw some pom-pom pines. I don't know what they really are, but obviously somebody's doing some sculpting of these pine
Yeah, how
trees.
cool are
Yeah,
those?
what are they?
So last year we got some that were juniper, and then we got some that were a little Scotch pine topiary.
I'd love to do it, but then trimming it, that's a homeowner responsibility, and I'd screw it up. I mean, it's like getting a poodle and giving him a bad haircut.
Trimming it's easy when you start off with that shape.
Okay.
But those are kind of tough because they're not forgiving. So if you get any browning on them, you could really lose some of the.
Are they winter hardy?
They are.
Yeah, okay. That's the voice of Jack Phipps. He's our buddy from Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan, and he's gracious enough when Pat's not here. It's sort of like Pat light,
Yeah, Pat's down in Florida for the Do It Best conference. So just happens to be in Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that amazing? I said he was
Yeah.
on vacation. You mean he's working?
Well, supposedly.
says.
So he says. And then Terry Lynn, she is at the Flower and Patio Show, which is their last weekend at the fairgrounds. So
And,
if you're out there, go see her.
Yeah, go see her. She is really the mistress of ceremonies, and she's a lot of fun. When you see her, Terry really is the girl next door and always has a story for you. But if you go to the Flower and Patio Show, which this is the last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Last weekend for you. Are you guys out there, Jack? Is David out there? Do you have a booth out there?
No, he is not. But he did go back out and do, now that I've said this, I wish I knew exactly where he was, at a design showcase that was set up at a house. He had actually won the award for the
Yeah, that's the
greenhouse that he decorated.
That's the Indie Home Show by the St. Margaret's Guild. Yeah, and Jenny's doing something for them this year, too, with planting. Yeah, so anyway, we are at Sullivan at 71st and Keystone. Stop by and see us. Ought to be a lot of fun. If you are looking for education, cold weather is the time to do education. Whenever I take classes, I try to take them in the winter because you get stuck inside and you can't do anything. We're a little bit early for gardening, Jack. We might be able to turn over the garden and some things, but it's too early to plant by far.
But certainly good prep day.
Yeah.
And even if it's just a little, learning, education.
A little bit of learning, a little bit of education. Allison's in charge of the schedule today. which means we don't have to dance around Pat, you know. She's just coming in. We're going to do it. We've got some interesting things for you. The guys in promotions, we've got the bags, we've got pens, we've got eyeglass washers if you ever wanted one of those.
But we do have the prize wheel out today. Ooh. Everyone loves a good prize wheel. It's like the legit where you spin it and it goes.
You get that satisfying click.
Yeah.
As it goes around.
So we're giving away some Sullivan merchandise. We giving away some plants. What else? Oh, and of course some gift cards as well. So you can use this in store today if you stop by and see us.
Immediate use.
Immediate use.
So, Allison, is Pat having trouble with his connectivity down in Florida? I sent him a text message and I said, I told Allison I was going to buy the cruise lunch today on my credit card, but with your discount. And he never replied. Do you think I made him mad? I mean, he did not reply. He went dark.
Oh, no, he texted me. He said to take care of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank goodness.
No, we got it. We got it all.
He responds to you. He doesn't respond to me. Well, it's the Home and Garden Show. Don't be bashful. Landon will take your call and forward them on to us. If you got questions for Jack, Jack's a pro's pro, and he really will help you. The number is 317-239-9393, right here on 93 WIBC. It's the Home and Garden Show right here on Saturday mornings, WIBC, 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Back on the board off of Monument Circle is Landon Coons, and you'll notice our bump music is going to be country western today. Landon is the original cowboy of WIBC, and so enjoy that. Hey, we had the equinox this week. Are you guys solar system people? I mean, do you study the solar system, Allison?
I mean, I think you know the answer to that, but I appreciate it. I appreciate that it's there.
Yeah. You appreciate it. This is when the sun is directly over the equator. And, in the wintertime, of course, it's going to the South Pole. And in the summertime, it goes to our North Pole. So the days are going to start getting longer. But this is the day where you theoretically, well, of course, it was Thursday, where you can take an egg and balance it. And because of the spinning of the Earth and the position of the sun, the egg will actually stand up. Now,
okay.
Really, that's what it's supposed to do. But the equinox was very important to the Druids. And as were the solstices, winter solstice and solar, and the summer solstice. Summer solstice, longest day of the year. And of course, we celebrate that for Pat's mama and the Alzheimer's Association. Wintertime was the day I had my first date with my wife, so that's always special. It was looking up after that. But here we are. The days and the nights are just about the same. And now we're going to bed, and it's going to get lighter and lighter and lighter. You guys have blackout shades?
No. See, I like having it later in the day because my least favorite thing is coming home after work when it's dark out.
Oh, yeah.
I think a lot of people are that way. A couple weeks ago, when we mentioned the, I don't even want to say it out loud, daylight saving time. Yeah. A lot of people felt that way. And I think that's true. I think most people prefer mornings be a little darker, maybe, as opposed to.
Yeah. Have you ever done the research how long it takes our bodies to recover from that lost hour?
No.
You ready for it? 21 days. It takes 3 weeks to get fully acclimated to losing an hour.
2 weeks.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because I feel like I've been off since daylight savings. So I'm just going to blame everything on that because. Man, 21 days?
21 days.
Just for 1 hour difference.
Now, in the fall, it's you get an extra hour. And so that's not a big deal. But when you lose the hour, that's a big deal.
Takes less than 3 weeks to recover from that falling back an hour.
Yeah, you have a pet. Did you notice any difference with your dog?
No, I did not. Yeah, maybe wants to eat dinner a little earlier.
Yeah, I was going to say mine, they don't know. So now I just have to feed him an hour earlier. And they're one of my dogs is a pug, and pugs like to eat a lot, so she's right on the dot, and she's very demanding about it.
Pugs and Labradors, those are the big eating dogs.
Oh man!
Well, it's the Home and Garden Show. The voices you just heard were Jack Phipps from Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan, and Allison Lemons, who is the daytime producer of the Hammer and Nigel Show. The antics you put up with those two boys, I don't know. Do you feel like a den mother? I'm honest to God.
It's funny that you said that because this week we had a big debate, and I think maybe you could weigh in on it. So there is I don't know if it's a TikTok trend or internet trend or whatever, but it's supposedly a life hack where to deep clean your toilet.
Oh my gosh!
You unscrew the toilet seat.
Oh no!
And you put it in the dishwasher.
No. They are not designed for heat. Just because you got a hot bottom doesn't mean it can take 150, 180 degrees in a dishwasher.
So Hammer and Nigel both split, and it seems like when we were asking listeners about it seems like they were split because the people who are like, oh, they'd be for it, is their argument is it cleans it. It cleans it anyway. It's a cycle. It cleans it out. The other people, myself included, it doesn't matter.
Thank you, Allison. That tells me you're a normal human being. Jack, would you take off a toilet seat and put it in your dishwasher?
No, I think that would be a little too much.
A little too close cross-contamination, maybe.
Yeah, that's where you're putting your silverware and stuff, and
you're doing your private business.
Yeah, well,
you don't need to bring that to your dinner table.
Anyway, I heard that, and that really is the stupidest thing.
Yeah, but people are doing it. I will say too, it feels like a lot more work than just taking a paper towel and some Lysol to it.
It's not like you're just popping it off.
Right, you have to unscrew it. And
I will tell you that the plumbing technology has come so far, because it used to be, when I started in plumbing in the 60s, believe it or not, putting on a toilet seat was once and done. I mean, because you were using the studs that came out of the bottom that went through, and you were tightening them up with a brass nut and a brass bolt. Boy, they've come so far. Now you can do it all from the top. And so it's easier for a housewife or a house husband to release them, pop up the tops. The technology's come so far, but I just don't think they're designed to handle that heat. I mean, this isn't a utensil you're using, to scrape out your frying pan, and you just put it.
I guess you wouldn't want a warped toilet seat.
Think about, can you see one corner up?
It shrinks in the dishwasher.
Oh, yeah.
It won't fit.
Allison, gets a really tiny hole. Things could change.
Oops.
Please listen to your favorite master plumber, second favorite master plumber. I don't know. Don't put your toilet seat in the dishwasher. I had to replace a light in the oven, and the technology is you got to protect the light bulb from too much heat. So they sort of have a heat-proof glass, but getting the heat-proof glass off, it's an act of God to get a light bulb out.
I was going to say, it's never easy. I'm impressed, actually.
Yeah, that's
I need to swap out a light bulb in my freezer, but I've yet to.
How do you know you need to?
Because it's not on.
Oh.
When I open the drawer, there's usually a little
Jack,
light.
For those of you who have not ordered a light bulb for a refrigerator or for a freezer, you're in for a treat, because not only some of them are long like aquarium lights. They're like 6 inches long and tubular, look like a summer sausage, and they've got a standard thread. Some of them have got prongs, but the biggest challenge is if you've got two light bulbs, matching the color, the temperature of it, because some of them are bright white. They're like meant to be sun. Some of them are warm, because many people, when they get up in the middle of the night, they don't want to be blinded by their refrigerator light. So you cannot believe the varieties.
I'll just swap out both at the same time.
Swap out both. Now, there you go. That would do it. But you want to make sure you get the right color on something like that. That's crazy. Have you guys heard about the Great Pyramids of Giza? Have you know where
You're taking me on a roller coaster.
Yeah, well, this is fun stuff. They have done some excavations below the pyramids. And what do you think they found underneath the pyramids and off to the side?
Bodies.
They found what
aliens.
You're getting close. They found what they thought was
dinosaurs.
A power plant. They found a whole bunch of quasi-machinery. Of course, it was old and dug up, but it appeared to be some sort of power generation facility. The underground has always thought that the pyramids were a reflection, or they would gather energy from the universe. Well, now they've got some proof of it, and even the Egyptologists are saying, what in the world is this? I mean, this isn't a subterranean garden.
Yeah.
It's a full mechanical room. So it's
underground?
Underground and off to the side.
The machinery, was it just like physical machinery?
It looked to be like the same thing that we would have off of solar panels. That's what it appeared to be. But, trying to read it, they've just discovered it. It was done last week. But we're in for a ride to find out what that's all about. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's interesting. The other thing I saw that was interesting, they found a new summer home at Pompeii. Did you hear about that?
No.
There's a new little excavation, and they uncovered a huge, what they thought was a wealthy person's summer estate.
Oh, it's a bunker.
Yeah. They had a blood red, ruby red room that had all these kind of.
Whoa!
You think it was a man cave? I mean, red's a passion. Yeah. Red's a color of passion, man.
With pictures on the wall that they described, I think it was.
Okay. All right. So,
Yeah.
you know,
An adult room.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mount Vesuvius in Italy, you know that's still an active volcano.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, there you go. And one more, Conor McGregor. Are you a mixed martial arts guy? You know who Conor McGregor is?
I do.
All right. So Conor McGregor.
Sorry, this is.
This is
If you
fun stuff.
ever, if listeners are ever like, I wonder how Denny's brain works, this segment is
Train of thought.
perfect.
My mind's always going. I do get 8 hours of sleep, but when I'm awake, and I'm researching and
No, in 10 minutes
Conor
we've covered-
McGregor got pissed off at the Irish Parliament about political stuff, woke stuff, and he's running for president. So, I mean, it'd be like George Foreman, who just passed away, becoming president. I mean, this guy is a warrior of warriors, and here he's going to run.
I would hate to
Donald
think
Trump
that-
at one point was just a businessman and a reality TV person. So
Who knows now?
who knows? Who knows?
And before we go to a break, in these poor astronauts that just came back, did you hear how much money they made while they were up there?
No, but they better have made good money because
Yeah.
God bless them. I'm glad they both got back
Are you ready
safe.
for this?
Overtime?
$5 a day. They got $1,000 when they landed, and that is the honest to goodness truth. It's terrible. They left them up there, but then President Trump said, out of my own, he says, I don't want any of the press going crazy. He says, I'm going to pay these people overtime and what they were worth. I thought that was gracious of him, but can you imagine being stuck up there? Your government, your country just basically abandoned you because of an election. And then they bring you back and they pay you $5 a day for all the time you're up there.
At least give them a couple extra PTO days.
And then that's taxed, too.
Yeah.
That's tax too. All right. Well, save yourselves from Denny's scatterbrain this morning. You give us a call. 317-239-9393. It's the Home and Garden Show. Brought to you by the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. It's 844-FIX-INDY right here on 93 WIBC. Landon, this is supposed to be in the weeds, and I know you're cowboy to the core.
I knew it. I remembered it as soon as
I knew it.
Hang on.
All right, we'll go with it. I believe in Landon. Landon's my guy.
We'll edit this out in the final. No one's here.
Oh,
there we go.
Landon's
Oh,
right on
wow.
it, isn't he? This is great.
He's been gone a while. It's all right.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, we're giving we
Warming
did
up.
All right, Green Acres indeed. So for In the Weeds this week, I'm going to give you some choices of what you want to talk about, okay?
Is the cosmic thing still up for grabs?
That's at the end. Okay, so the first one is
back.
a world gardening quiz.
Oh.
Okay. The second one is garden bounty, which is more nutritious. We may have done that one before, too. Then, of course, cosmic shifts, understanding the changing time.
We'll save that one for later.
Yeah, right.
We pushed that one back a couple weeks now.
Let's do the world gardening.
World gardening. All right.
World
now, Jack,
gardening.
I asked you if you were a gardener this morning, and you said yes. And then you very astutely said, well, what do you consider gardening?
Yeah.
So what do you
That's
plant in
fair.
your garden, Jack?
So I would consider gardening tending to my flowers, my perennials, trees, shrubs.
Based on what I've learned, that means you're more European than you are American. American gardens, Allison, what do we think of?
I think of tomatoes. I think of watermelon. I think of corn.
There you go.
I think of
that's
bald eagles flying through the sky.
Oh my gosh, look at you, a real romantic. All right,
eagle.
so that big Pacific and Atlantic Ocean, they separate us in the way we look at things. So I'm going to give you a quiz. Which country is home to the Royal Horticultural Society and the famous gardens like Kew Gardens? Let me give you some choices. France, United Kingdom, Germany, the United States.
United Kingdom.
Well, it says royal in the title, so you automatically think United Kingdom.
Well, France are sort of, they think they're royalty. All right, let's try another one.
Wait, was that right?
Yeah, it was United Kingdom. I told you he was more British. Anyway.
I'll let you guess first next time.
All right, so World Gardening Quiz question number 2. The Keukenhof, known for its stunning tulip displays, is located in which country? The Netherlands, Japan, Italy, or Canada?
Netherlands, for sure. I was going to say Germany originally, but Netherlands sounds...
The bulb capital.
I'm told that...
Have you guys
Go ahead.
been to Holland, Michigan? This just made me think of this.
The Tulip Festival.
There's a big
When I
tulip
was a kid.
festival, and I have gone twice in the last 6 years, and every time it is magical. If you have like a weekend in May, and I believe it's in early May, and you just have a weekend where you can just drive up, it's truly not that big of a drive. It's maybe 3 hours, but the whole town gets really into it. The whole town is covered in tulips, and they have all these Dutch festival stuff going on, great food. It's just like such a fun thing.
It really is. I had a client that raised tulip bulbs, and he was talking about how intricate it is and how they share their recipes or their pollination.
And they have all these different themes, and like it's Disney World for tulip. I mean, it's so cool. I just made me think of it. Sorry.
All right, it's cool that's all planned so far ahead, that planted in the fall. Everything's done, and then you just
the planning that goes into it is amazing.
But they make these huge displays. I mean, they may have an acre in the same color, which is what is so stunning.
Yeah.
All right, question number 3. Now, if you missed this one, you're just not paying attention. Bonsai and Zen gardens are key elements of gardening culture in which country? China, Australia, Japan, or France?
It's clearly Australian.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and guess Japan.
Japan, I
Jack,
believe.
I told you he was good, folks. Here is. All right, now, these are so obvious.
I love
Australian
bonsais.
bonsai would be cool.
All right, the Palace of Versailles features one of the most formal gardens in the world. Which country is it in? Italy, France, Germany, United States?
I have been there before, and I'm going to say France.
Tell us about it.
It was when I was in high school, so I don't remember it vividly as I could. I wish I paid more attention to the gardens, but I just remember standing up and then looking down. They had, acres and acres of these kind of planned formal gardens. It was really cool.
My favorite type of art is, the Impressionist painting, And when you see 90% of those came from France.
Yeah.
So on that vein, all right, so which famous Impressionist artist designed and maintained a garden in Giverny, inspiring many of his paintings? Was it Vincent van Gogh, Pierre-Auguste Renoir, Claude Monet, or Leonardo da Vinci?
I know Monet was a big plant guy, so I'm going to go with him.
I'm going to guess Da Vinci.
Da Vinci wasn't much of a gardener. He was more of a mechanic, but
sometimes that creative thing goes hand
in hand. Allison, you nailed it. Claude Monet, yeah, quite the impressionist. All right, the classic gardens of Suzhou, known for their balance of water, rocks, and plants. See, we don't think of gardens with water and rocks and landscaping, but certain cultures do. It's located in which country? The gardens of Suzhou. Oh, I'm sorry, I should tell you. Japan, China, Italy, or the Netherlands?
Japan?
China. They're very eclectic. They have done some research on water, and they have found that water that is aerated or that, travels over rocks takes on a memory. And the things that they have learned about water is really pretty incredible.
I actually, when I went to Epcot a couple years ago, when they did it was this time last year. They had their big flower show out there, and each quote unquote country around the world, they do different things that obviously that the countries are inspired by. But the Japanese area had what you were talking about, the rocks and the water, and they had their own irrigation system. And this was created centuries ago, and it was watering their plants, and it reminded me of one of those Rube Goldberg type things. Yeah. It's amazing. I don't know why we don't use more of that today.
Kitchen too, and then it's their kitchen sink is a little river that's flowing through the house.
And it's all natural, and it just does it itself. Man.
The Home and Garden, yes, it is Home and Garden, but it's sans Pat Sullivan. So we've gone a little bit more cultural, and we're talking about gardens from around the world.
We're very sophisticated
today. I guess we are. All right, so which country is well known for its Mediterranean gardens and Renaissance-era landscaping? Is it France, Germany, Italy, or United Kingdom? Renaissance. Good. Wow. First of all, if you're from Indiana, it's Italy. Okay, just two syllables, Italy.
Or Italian.
Italian. All right, the Butchart Gardens. Butchart, famous botanical garden located on Vancouver Island. Now, there's a clue. Are in which country? United States, Canada, Australia, United Kingdom.
Australia. Canada.
Canada. I'll look it out. Yeah. All right, so Australia is known for its expertise in which type of gardening? Let's see if you can get this.
Australia.
Is it bonsai? Is it French-style gardens? Is it drought-resistant native planting? Or is it tulip farming?
I was going to guess bush gardening, but I guess it would be
That's a good guess.
Drought
resistance. Yeah, they got really. The funny thing about Australia, it was founded by criminals. It was a prison continent. That's where everybody went. And yet they are really pretty hardy folks.
Oh, my gosh. Speaking of hardy folks, have you seen the spiders and stuff they have down there? I mean, they're massive in Australia.
8 of the most poisonous snakes in the world are in Australia, but I didn't know about that.
It's a nasty place.
I mean, yeah, I don't. I follow the Irwins on Instagram. And Terry Irwin, which is Steve Irwin's wife, she posted a video. They were just in the house and they captured a spider. And of course, they're the Irwins, so they have to save it. And I'm like, absolutely not.
Is that the guy who always said, "Oh, crikey"?
Yeah, oh, crikey. He's the one the alligator guy, crocodile guy.
Crocodile.
Yeah, his son and his whole family, his daughters, the whole shebang. They're still doing his legacy, but yeah, they captured the spider, but it was too big for like a cup, so she had like an actual like pan lid like you would use for the stove.
What?
And that fit in there. I was like, there's no way.
The smallest pan lid is what, 8 inches?
At least. I mean, oh my gosh. And she put it on the ground and started moving with it. Oh.
Okay. Last question. Piet Oldulf, a world-renowned garden designer known for his naturalistic planting style, comes from which country? Germany, Netherlands, United Kingdom, or the United States?
I'm just going to throw it out there, Germany.
Allison?
What was the question again?
Piet Oldulf, I tried to do that. A world-renowned garden designer known for his naturalistic planting style comes from which country?
I think it's just coming to me now. I think it's the Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Danny was pointing.
I was pointing to the answer for Allison. Trying to make her look good. Hey, that reminds me, the only time I ever got sent to the principal's office in high school, somebody was copying off me, and then I got sent for cheating, and I've never cheated on a test in my life.
Oh my gosh!
I got sent down to Speedway High School, and Mr. Troff saw me, and we were both shocked. I was shocked that I was there, but the guy that was cheating off me was, of course, the one that got it. But the first thing Mr. Troff said to me, he says, "Denny, do I need to call Snuffy?" I go, "Oh no, you don't need to call."
I can imagine that now.
Cheating. There you go. Well, it's the Home and Garden Show. We are brought to you by the Michaelis Corporation. We'll hope you'll come out to 71st and Keystone. Tell us about the Pansy Roulette, Allison.
Yeah, it's a big spring open house. So all of their locations are doing the Pansy Roulette, which is a big spring kickoff thing we do here. And basically, you get to shop around the store from your heart's desire. We got the home decor items, garden accents, bird, seed, grill accessories, gourmet food items, and of course all the live plants and seed packets. All that's going to be qualified for the Pansy Roulette, which at checkout you'll grab a little pansy and the cashier will reveal.
Don't you pull the ticket.
Don't pull the ticket. Let the cashier pull the ticket. But then when they pull the ticket, you could have 10 to 100% off of your purchase
now,
today.
That's verified. There's at least one ticket.
There's at least one 100 out there. I know. For a fact.
I think there's 250s if I remember right. But.
And for you radio folks, there's no 10%, so you automatically get 15% because
everybody's a winner.
Everybody is a winner.
Everybody's a winner. Well, Jack Phipps is here with us. Landon Coon's back in studio. Allison's right here beside me, and we're taking your phone calls. We will get it to you. Our call screener's not up here, but Landon can get you on. It's 317-239-9393. Right here on 93 WIBC. It's the Home and Garden Show. It's Pansy Roulette at Allisonville Home and Garden, and we are at 71st and Keystone. You pick your pansy up, and then you do all your shopping. You take it back up. Don't pull the little coupon on there because then the cashier will pull it, and whatever that discount might be, that's what you're going to pay for it. And it's supposedly anywhere from 10 to 100% off. Allison says there's a secret that for radio listeners only that there are no 10% coupons.
No 10%. So you're automatically going to be a winner, which is great.
And make sure you get everything you want on your way up because as soon as they open that discount, you can't go back.
Oh, that is a good point.
You can go through again for a different pansy for a totally different purchase.
Look at you. Yeah.
So you can't reveal 100% be like, oh, I forgot a couple things. Let me go back.
I wanted that complete big green egg accessory.
Yeah, and I also wanted the entire Yellow House wardrobe. Yeah. So.
Yeah. All right. So during our break, we talk about a lot of different things, and we were asking Jack about seeds and stuff, and we said something about tattoos. So I'm going to ask you some questions. Have you guys ever wanted a tattoo?
Never once in my life.
Never once in your life. Allison?
I like the idea of it because I think it's cool when people have meanings or things of that situation, but I am so indecisive. I know as soon as I get it, I'd be like, oh, I wanted something different. So your answer is no. Me personally, no, but I think they're cool.
I've always wanted something really patriotic. I had a buddy turn 70, and he got a huge American flag on his arm, and he said, when you turn 70, you can do it. Well, I turned 70, I was too chicken, so I didn't do it. But here's my tattoo story. Jane, my wife, my lovely wife, had in the plumbing companies, we had a lot of employees, and whenever, after 4 months or 6 months, they got to sign up for insurance. So Jane was in charge of all HR, and so, Roger came in and he said, I've just finished my 6 months. I get to sign up. I said, go up and see Jane. I said, but you're going to have all your birthdays and all this type of stuff for all the kids. The guy had 8 kids.
Oh, wow.
So he goes up to see Jane, and Jane says, okay, Roger, I'm going to need everybody's birth date, full name. And he just sort of pats his chest and he says, I've got him right here. So Jane thought that was just a loving father saying, I've got him in my heart. I've got him memorized. Well, I walk into the office and here's this guy bare-chested with my wife and a pen and paper going up and reading off Social Security numbers, birth dates, and full names. He had all 8 of them tattooed on his chest.
Oh, my gosh.
Of course, I walk into this guy's got his chest, he's bare-chested.
That's what they told you anyway.
Well, that's what they told me. So I didn't know what to think about that. So maybe one of these days I'll get the great.
Honestly, I think more dads should do that.
Dad should do that. Yeah.
There's a great comedian, Nate Bargatze, and he does a joke about being a dad. And his daughter went to school for the first time. She rode the school bus, and she got on the wrong bus on the way home. So the school had to call one of the parents and let him know. And he was like, and they were like, they asked the dad, Nate, what school bus is she supposed to be on? And he said, you called the dad, right? Out of both of those names on the list, you'd think you'd call the mom first. And then they were like, oh, okay, fair enough. If you could just come pick her up. And then he said, well, remind me what school this is again.
So
it was a perfect.
Dads are silly.
So maybe more men should get their kids' birthdays tattooed on.
Men are.
They'll still forget, but
men are just
at least
with children.
There's a little more hope.
You have it close by.
Yeah, exactly.
And not only that, if you're an uncle, you've got free reign. I mean, you don't even have any rules whatsoever. I mean, because you can be the crazy uncle.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Home and Garden Show is at 71st and Keystone. You can see that Pat's not here to rein us in or to divert us in any way. Lots of fun things coming up. We do have some seminars. I'm really anxious in the pollinators and the natives. The pollinators are really pretty important to us. That's where the honeybees go. And quite frankly, the honeybee population has been compromised, off and on over the last dozen years or so. So it'd be nice to see what Carrie or Brett has to say about that.
And then our first one's coming up at 10 o'clock. And these are both at Allisonville location and the Keystone location. And if you want a schedule, it's on sullivanhardware.com if you want to see which ones are going to be happening. But they're happening all throughout the day today. But first one's at 10 o'clock, and it's container gardening demos.
Let's get started.
Yeah, and Jack taught me more. We got the thriller, the spiller, and the chiller. What is it?
He taught you well.
Change it to the chiller.
Okay.
The filler.
The filler. Okay. Thriller, filler, and spiller. Yeah.
And I kind of like that new fourth element.
The chiller. Yeah. That's,
Just wait.
That's where you put your beer. But my good buddy Jenny is going to be doing that. And for those of you who don't know, at least here at 71st and Keystone, if you want a great big pot filled and designed, Jenny does those.
She does such a good job.
Oh, and just incredible craftsmanship. And she always gets the right colors, the right plants, and everything.
She does.
So anyway, learn more about that, and that's at what time, Allison? Is that
10 o'clock, and then she's also doing another one at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. So take advantage of that. That is really cool. Our number is 317-239-9393. A little bit later, I'm going to talk about some HVAC issues and a couple of plumbing issues that you need to be aware of. This is a great time of year to be cleaning your well for plumbing. You cannot believe the crap that gets down in wells. And so every so often you'll want to clean your well. And what they do with that is if you've ever been on the highway and you see the great big compressors and the big jackhammers where they're breaking up the concrete in order to repair it. Well, that large hose, if you run that all the way down to the bottom of your well, that could be a couple 100 feet, and turn on that compressor, those bubbles clean the well. It creates a chimney effect or a siphon. And when they first turned that on, the first time I ever saw a well cleaned, I thought, I've been drinking that water, and it is pretty gross. Of course, you got rust, you've got manganese, you got a whole bunch of different things that come out of that well. But if you haven't thought about that, this is a great time to do it. And usually this is the time of year that well companies will give you a good discount because they're coming out of their winter season. And again, Sullivan Hardware, Allisonville Road. Now, are they doing the same Pansy Roulette Jack up at Allisonville?
So we're doing the exact same thing, and then we have the seminars going on up there as well.
In the 10 o'clock hour coming up next, we're going to have Scott Lataka. Now, Scott used to work for Piazza Produce, and he is really a creative kind of guy. But he's going to be doing something about Wex Mix, and I have never have you all heard of Wex Mix?
It's part of the spring open house is we're having grilling samples all day today at Keystone. So that's going to kick off at 11 o'clock, and Scott is part of that. So he's going to tell us what we're cooking up, and Wex Mix is a part of that. What is it? Stay tuned.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Scotty got trained as a chef the same way I did. He went through Boy Scouts. He went from tenderfoot to second class, first class, and that's where you learn to cook as a kid. Whether it's aluminum foil and just coals. But he's well trained. And then he went on. He is a recycling genius. Piazza Produce won a national or an international award because he figured out how to recycle all the packaging that came in from produce and what.
And Scott is also what our listeners will probably know him best as, the bread pudding guy.
Yeah, he's not much of a vocabulariist.
But every time we're at Sullivan's, he always comes up with the bread pudding, and he's made probably 10 different versions. Do
we have a bread pudding today?
I don't think so. We had 2 last week. He had a s'mores one and
savory samples.
Yeah. We're going to be doing the Wex Mix. I got to be Wex Mix. I don't know. It sounds like a club on the west side of Indianapolis. All right, we are brought to you by the Michaelis Corporation. Water storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. If you need them, it's 844-FIX-INDY. We are the Home and Garden Show, and brought to you by Michaelis. Stay tuned. If you got a call, if you got a question, give us a call. 317-239-9393.
Some folks say that grown-up men are still just little boys, that really the only difference is the price of our toys. We go for macho symbols like guns and running shoes, pickup trucks, hunting ducks, and power tools, power tools, power tools.
Well, good morning. Beautiful Saturday morning. A little bit chilly, but it lets us know that springtime's coming because the sunshine is beating down on us, and we love that at the Home and Garden Show. Brought to you by the Michaelis Corporation. Water storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. 844-FIX-INDY. That is an easy number to remember. I hope you write it down someplace. Good place to put it would be wherever your electrical panel is. That's where I always put my emergency stuff, Jack. Where do you put your emergency numbers? Like if you had to have emergencies, where would you put it in your house? I put it on the electrical panel.
I put it on my phone.
You put it on your phone? Come on. Okay, you're a man of the 2020. Yeah. There we go.
Or my computer.
Our number is 317-239-9393. Joining us right now is our old buddy Angelo from Hamilton County. Hey, Angelo, how are you?
I am great.
You probably are. Where are you driving today and delivering, or what you doing?
Yeah, I'm on my way to Kokomo, and then I go from Kokomo to the other Kokomo store, and then to Marion, Logansport, Monticello. And if it was a Monday through Friday, it'd be Delphi, and then back to Kokomo, and then back to Marion, and back home.
Wow. Do you get paid by the mile? Angelo, do you get paid by the mile?
No, I can discount the mileage on my taxes, which I think it's 50-some cents a mile, and it's supposed to go up to 70-some cents, so it does pay for it. But
I don't want to scare you, but when they started that gasoline discount, believe it or not, it was 6 cents a mile. You've come up in the world, son. All right, so what you got for us, Angelo?
Well, you were something about tattoos, and I wanted to tell you, when I first went into the Army back in 71, I was not a guy that was gung-ho and want to kill them and all that stuff. I was a peacenik. So I got a tattoo of a rose on my left bicep that's about 3.5 inches long. Now it's about 4 inches long. And
whoa. Does that mean your arms are getting bigger, or does that mean they're wilting?
I think they're sagging.
They're sagging.
But, the woman that put it on was so old, I don't think the needle was plugged in. I think she was just shaking us. So it was.
I don't think of that being very. I don't think of that being very manly, Angelo. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
But when I went to Vietnam, nobody shot at me, and I shot at nobody. It was almost over. So
research was done
good.
on that during. Yeah, we grew up in different backgrounds. Research was done during World War I. I don't know about World War II, but during World War I, they asked the soldiers when they came home if they'd ever shot anybody. And the research, it was anonymous, and at least 50% of the soldiers said that they just could not do it, their religious upbringing, that they would point their weapon and they would fire their weapon, but they never aimed it at anybody. And so if you're not interested in shooting at people, I guess it's halfway normal, Angelo. It's halfway normal.
Yeah, that's the way war should be fought.
Yeah, I think war should be fought by politicians. Those dumbasses send us into war. And, I would like to see them on the front line. The first 436 should come from Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Angelo, listen, you drive safe. Thanks for the story, and thanks for listening to WIBC, okay?
I've got one more story for you if you got time.
I've always got time for you, Angelo.
Okay, you remember the little car that I drag raced, and I showed you guys that one morning? So
Yes, sir.
Anyhow, the crew chief forgot to put the hood pins in last September when he was leaving the drag strip. And as soon as he hit Raceway Road, the hood came up and the fuel pressure gauge hit the windshield and broke the windshield. So where do you get a windshield for a 40-year-old Plymouth Horizon four-door? So there's a
I'd go to Rex R Us up in Zionsville.
Yeah.
Are they still up there? Rex Incorporated?
Don't know. But there's a website that's www.car-part.com. You put in your make, model, all that information in your zip code, and then up comes all the junkyards that's nearest to you first that's got that part. Well, down at Evansville, this place is said that they had 4 or 5 of them. So I called them up, and they said, yeah, we've got 4 brand new ones. I said, really? For an 84 Horizon? They said, yeah, they got about 10 of them when cars first came out, and they've only sold about 5 or 6. So he said, well, let me put my eyes on them and make sure that they're okay, and I'll call you back. So in the meantime, I called a place down in Evansville that does windshield installations. They were like 4 or 5 miles away from this place. And I called them up, and I said, can you put one in if I get one? They said, yeah. And I said, can you pick it up if I pay for it? They said, yeah. So the other place called me back and said, yep, we got 4 brand new ones here. How many you want? You want all 4? I said, no, I just want the one. So I gave them my card number. They sold it to me. The other place picked it up. I drove down there, and they pulled out my broken one, put it in, and now I got a brand new windshield. And the other thing is, from back in the early 80s when I first got the car, I was driving past a golf course in Kokomo, and a golf ball went over the fence and broke the windshield.
Oh,
and
I don't want to ride with you.
So I had a new windshield put in, and it always leaked rain right over my gas pedal. But it doesn't leak no more. So,
oh, Angelo,
anyhow.
Thanks for the call. Thanks for the stories. You're full of them, aren't you?
Oh, I'm full of it, all right.
Thank you. All right, well, we're going to get Scott Lataka over here because I want to know. Hey, Scotty, come on over. I want to know what this Wex Mix is.
I think you're really pumping it up. I think it's. I'm not sure it's exactly.
Well,
or maybe you're downplaying it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
half full here.
Yeah, the grilling department here at Sullivan Hardware is doing samples and doing stuff today. And our old buddy, who grew up in Boy Scouts, served his time at Piazza Produce, and now he is the bread pudding champion of what, Marion County?
Possibly the world.
Possibly the world. Scott Lataka. Scotty, what do you guys got planned for us today?
Hey, good morning. As you know, it's Pansy Roulette weekend.
Spring open house.
Yeah.
So we got a little something special for everybody that comes in after 11 today. We're going to be sampling some pulled pork with a local barbecue sauce from Barbecue Heaven. And he's got a sweet, medium, and a hot variety. So welcome.
Have you tried the hot variety?
It's hot and it's good.
It's good. All right.
But it won't burn you twice.
All right. So Allison sort of told me, and of course over here Jack doesn't have a clue. What is Wex Mix?
Wex Mix. Okay, this is another one of my creations.
Oh, you're the author?
I am the author.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's too bad that Pat's not here because he would really lose it today because the recipe is... The name is Wex Mix.
I mean, and this is a big moment, everybody. Yeah. For those who don't know, Scott makes tons of great bread pudding, and most of his bread pudding recipes are about 10 words too long. Too long. So the fact that we've gotten down to Wex Mix is perfect.
Where the ingredient list is in the name.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
So what is Wex Mix?
Okay.
Is it for chips? What's it for?
Well, think of Chex Mix, okay?
All right.
Go back to the original Chex Mix recipe because there's several out there, but
we had wheat
I'm a
Chex, corn Chex. You had all the different Chex, and you put a little bit of seasoning or something on them.
Right. But we have another outstanding product that we brought in a little over a year ago. It's called the W sauce, and the W sauce is
W like the letter W.
The letter W, absolutely. So this is a Worcestershire sauce product. And it's not as thin and runny as Lee and Perrin or, French's. But we like it because it's got a little bit more texture to it. Flavor is phenomenal. It's so good you can just literally drink it out of the bottle. So I substitute Worcestershire sauce for the W sauce in that recipe. And then I'm also substituting our hardcore carnivore red barbecue seasoning for the Lawry seasoned salt.
Wow. Okay.
So this is all done on a Chex Mix type stuff?
Correct. So it'll have your three types of Chex Mix products, your rice, corn, and wheat.
And then don't forget your pretzels. You got to throw pretzels.
Absolutely. Got pretzels, got some mixed nuts. Got some Cheerios and also has some goldfish crackers.
All right. So,
all right.
If you pour this stuff on it, you then bake it. You put it in a grill. What do you do?
Yeah. So you can
grill. Yeah.
Fix this traditionally in an oven, but we've got some Traegers that we're going to be using as our ovens and smokers. So it picks up a little extra flavor today too.
Where do they go if they want to test all this stuff?
Come back to see us in the grill department. We'll have a table out in the main aisle and. People can enjoy. The other version I'm going to be doing of the Wex Mix is the Fireshire Wex Mix. So the W sauce has a product that's got a little bit of heat to it. It's got some jalapeno peppers. It's got some habaneros and just the right amount of spice and
fire.
Yeah. So,
I like it.
Fireshire Wex Mix. Absolutely.
I'm going to say goodbye to Scott. in Miami, Indian, there are very few people will even understand what this is, but my friend Scott will know, as will a lot of Boy Scouts around central Indiana. Wakanda Thethu, Wapathinatani, Maksaba Osawasu. That's my buddy.
I feel like you weren't allowed to say that.
No,
I'm not sure what happened, but
Scott Lataka, he's got his fire shirt on and he's got his Indy hat on. You'll find him back along with Delano back in the grilling department.
Yeah, grill samples all day today, starting at 11 o'clock here at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, 71st and Keystone. And it sounds like a lot of the ingredients you can get right here at the Sullivan Hardware at the Flavor Town is what we like to call it. The gourmet foods are also
are they available for
part of the Pansy Roulette.
Yes,
so you can grab a couple of those things and grab a pansy and see what kind of discount you get.
Good
Go
deal.
make some Wex Mix.
I am going to find that creamy. I'm going to call it a creamy Worcestershire sauce.
Yes.
I'm going to call it the W.
The W.
Yeah, I can never say the full name. Worcestershire.
Scott Lataka, thanks for joining us. When we come back, Allison's got somebody scheduled to teach us a few things, or we might be teaching ourselves a few things. It's the Home and Garden Show right here on 93 WIBC. 93 WIBC. It's the weekend version of WIBC. A little softer take on things. This is the Home and Garden Show. My name's Denny Smith. Jack Phipps is with me. So is Allison Lemons, and we're brought to you by the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. If you need help, no matter what it might be, it's 844-FIX-INDY. Jack, we have this segment we call Three Things. Now, we've voluntold you that you need to come up with three things today. So I'm going to kick this off. Allison's off trying to find somebody that's going to join us in the 10:30 segment. But there are things that you need to be doing around the house or for the garden. And Jack and I are going to take turns here. I'm going to do the first one. But believe it or not, we've come out of a pretty crazy winter. Your furnace filters, if you're not changing them on a regular basis, this is a great time to take a look at it. The reason we want to look at them is because dirty filters restrict airflow. Not quite as critical in the wintertime unless you're on a heat pump. But in the summertime, we don't want to restrict airflow because that's how we cool and pressurize our refrigerant within our lines. And if we compromise that airflow, our air conditioners are going to freeze up on the outside. And if you haven't seen that, it's a mess. So we don't want to do that. So what we want to do is change our filters on a regular basis so we don't get an issue with that. Second thing with the HVAC is we want to clean the condenser coils from the outside. You'd be surprised what takes place, the critters that might find a home in there. Of course, the first time you come up, it comes on, you can hear some squalling and screaming. Sometimes you will hear some, or you smell burning fur. It's because critters have gotten in there. So it's a good idea to just sort of hose that out. And then finally, on one of these warm days, just test your air conditioner. Run your thermostat down, put it on cooling, and see if you get cool air out of the registers. All right, Jack. Now, I showed you how to do three things on HVAC.
That was a great example to follow.
What you got, Jack?
So my three things, everybody is coming in asking about houseplants right now. They want to know what they can do with their plants. Everybody wants to magically fix all their sad plants from the winter. You really don't want to be repotting anything right now. But first thing you want to do is, if you have the fungus gnats, everybody starts to notice those this time of year.
Whoa. The what type?
The fungus gnat.
Fungus gnats?
Yeah, so they're just a little gnats that lay their eggs in the top few inches of soil.
That's what we get. That might be what we get at the head of a septic tank. When we pull off the lid, we've got little bitty gnats.
Yep.
Now, the plumbers have some nasty names we call them, but I bet they're the same thing.
It probably. If I knew any more about them. The scientific name, just a fungus gnat. But taking off the top few inches of soil and all your plants and replacing that with new kind of cactus succulent soil, which is what I use on all my house plants. That helps get rid of some of those fungus gnats that you may have flying around in your house.
So do you have a spray for it?
You do, so that would just be like neem oil or any insecticide on the top. But really, you just want to take off the top inches of soil. That's where all those eggs are going to live.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, Allison asked to go with me on the plumbing truck long time ago. And I was trying to teach her about sump pumps. Now, we're about to get into, April showers,
bring May flowers,
but they also bring wet basements and wet crawl space. So this is a really good time to inspect the pit itself to make sure you don't have any things in it. A lot of the older homes, our first home in Speedway, there was no pit cover. It was just an open pit, and a lot of people would even let their laundries go in there, and we would pump those out to the sewer. So depending on what your sump pump situation is or your, quote, sewage pit, you've got to make sure that they're in a good way to run. It's crucial because otherwise you're going to have floods and messes. Clear the debris from the sump pit and go outside and take a look at the discharge line. Jack, at your house, do you have a sump pump?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, see, it might be a higher. Long ago, your area there in Broad Ripple was considered a bit of a gravel pit.
Yeah.
So it would drain. That's the nice thing when the water hit. We still had topsoil, but then once it got down to the gravel layer, it would go on through. If you have a battery or a backup system, you've got to test it. Check the ampacity or ampicity, and I don't know. Check your amps on your battery and make sure that it's in good shape. You want to make sure that battery can handle floods if we have power outages. Now, one of the things that Allison always reminds me of is you've got to check your outside faucets.
I have it written on the back of my hand right now.
I know, because if you leave that hose on, Jack, you know what happens if you leave the hose on an outside faucet?
It's going to freeze.
It's going to freeze. Not just the hose, which we hope that it would take all that, but more importantly, it freezes and it can cause a disaster. So there's our 3 steps, Allison.
Three things.
We did it. We did it. When we come back, who have you got coming up for us?
Well, at 11 o'clock hour, we're going to have Brett from our garden center department. So he's actually going to be one of the ones in charge of the seminar about pollinators and natives at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
So you guys can stop by and see the presentation. But if you miss it, we're going to kind of get some cliff notes from him afterwards at the 11 o'clock hour.
Awesome.
I got to ask you, Jack, what would you call a native when we're talking about pollinators and natives? Give me some idea of what we're talking about when we say natives.
So natives, I feel like most people typically refer to them as like the perennials, like a true perennial that dies back to the ground is going to come up. But then we have so many other native trees and shrubs that, help bring in these native pollinators. But that's everything that is originally from our area was meant to grow here.
That's cool. I just had a buddy reach out to me, and he said, I heard you say if April showers bring May flowers, what do Mayflowers bring?
Babies.
Pilgrims. Babies.
That's what I used to hear.
Tom just fell out of his truck. Yeah. April showers bring Mayflowers, but Mayflowers bring pilgrims. Hey, the star of all the videos of Sullivan Hardware is wandering about. If you have never been on social media and have not seen the videos, here she goes. And if you have not seen the videos that are put out, the star of screen and film is here to sign your autographs, and you can pick up a WIBC bag. Go up and find her, and I'm sure she'll sign the bag.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you pointed that out. I keep forgetting because it's just people are so loving it. We have a prize wheel here at Sullivan's.
A real prize wheel.
A real prize wheel, like where you can spinning.
I won $20, and Allison says, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, well, in the fine print, it says Denny's excluded. So
Denny's excluded.
I don't make the rules. I just enforce them. So, yeah. But, yeah, we're giving away $20 gift cards, $5 gift cards, some WIBC merch, some Sullivan Hardware merch. So, stop by.
And if you come in, you get a free pansy on your way out.
Exactly.
And what a thrill for the day. You could win 10 to 100% off.
But secret, there's no 10% off. It's at least 15% off. But you could get 100% off, Jack.
You could get 100.
Yeah. Yeah, but don't open the drill is you have to let the cashier open the coupon.
Could you imagine being that person? You have your cart loaded up and then you just happen to look and it's the 100.
And then you're like, oh, it's invalid because you opened it.
They'll catch you opening it.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Will they? Will they yell at you?
They will.
They won't
There's
yell at you.
There's a whole store alarm that goes
Stern
off.
talking to is what we call it.
If you haven't been to 71st and Keystone store, they have rearranged the checkout area so it's not as congested when you get in. Better than that, in the wintertime and in the summertime, those poor cashiers are not getting frozen or baked out.
Right.
They've got them off to the side, but it's a really fluid in and out for y'all. So come on out and see us. We're at 71st and Keystone. Jack says that they're doing the same thing up at Allisonville.
Yep.
Take advantage of that. This is the Home and Garden Show, brought to you by the Michaelis Corporation. You give us a call if you'd like to go on air, 317-239-9393. 93 WIBC. My name's Denny Smith. It's the Home and Garden Show. Pat's away at a conference in Florida. It just happens to be in Florida, Jack. I mean,
how convenient.
How convenient indeed.
It's not in Maine. It's inconvenient. And by the way, I'm getting some wonderful text messages. Allison does a better Pat Sullivan than Pat. I like that a lot. The dad joke guy, I think he was feeling sort of sorry about my presentation of what do April showers bring, Mayflowers. What do Mayflowers bring? Pilgrims. All right, so we got that out of the way. And then one more thing, and it has to do with the music. Landon has joined us. Landon is the producer for the Tony Katz in the Afternoon Show, and he's a cowboy. And so there's been some comments on my phone about the cowboy music, and I think they like it, Landon. So whatever you do, and keep doing it. Joining us now is Mark. Hey, Mark, thanks for taking the time to give us a holler. What's up?
Good morning. I got a question for you. I planted strawberries in a patch about 8 years ago in rows, and now it's over the years they've scattered out and filled in between the rows and all this. So it's one big solid, probably 15, 18-foot radius of strawberries. And within that now, there's all kinds of little weeds that come up in there. I was wondering if I could use preen in those areas without harming the strawberries.
You know, what's funny about strawberries is they bloom on the sides because that's where the sun gets to them, and your strawberries are always on the edges. So that's why you will see strawberry patches about 2 foot wide and then a pathway to get through it. Jack, I'm not sure I have the right idea.
I might be afraid to put preen down right around, so it's not getting absorbed by the plant. Preen works by making that kind of chemical barrier to keep things from germinating through, but I don't know for certain how it interacts with
Mark, here's what I would do. First of all, I'd look at the back because the label is the law. When it comes to the chemicals that we put on our property, the label is the law. So look at the label and see if it's okay for fruiting vegetables. And there's always an 800 number. Call the 800 number. Those people, I think that's part of their process is to make sure that people are not harmed by their products. But thanks for your phone call, Mark.
Well, thank you very much for your information.
You bet, buddy. Preen's a funny thing. You put it down and it stops the things that it's supposed to stop, but sometimes it stops some other things that you don't
want to come up.
That's exactly right. That voice you hear is that of Jack Phipps. He's from the Allisonville store for Sullivan Hardware Home and Garden. Allison's also here playing the part of Pat today, which the listeners really like.
Quite no one can play the part of Pat than Pat himself.
She's doing a better Pat than Pat does. I like that.
I don't think that. And then, too, I want to mention, too, Terry, she's at the Flower and Patio Show at the fairgrounds today.
Yeah.
So that is where she's been the last couple weeks. So if you're out there, say hi to her as well. I think she's emceeing all afternoon.
She's pretty good at that stuff.
Good for her.
All right, joining us now is Scott. Scott, thanks for giving us a call. How are you?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
It's a good day at Sullivan Hardware.
Hey, for that last caller, the strawberry patch, I know how he needs to fix that.
All right.
He needs to take a pickaxe, and he needs to dig those weeds out by hand. Give me a chicken biscuit. That's it.
All right, you're busted.
Sorry.
What's the real reason for your call?
And then what's the name? Scott. And then on the lawn fertilizer in the spring, you guys are not doing yourselves any good putting fertilizer down before the end of April. All you're doing is creating hay. And more often than not, the grounds are wet in the spring, so you're forcing yourself to track your yard more often by doing that. And then the last thing is the fertilizer. All it's doing is just above ground growth at that point of the year. So that's my tip for the spring.
No, perfect.
Thanks, Scott. Thank you for your call. You know, that brings up a good point. We are so excited about our yards. We think we're supposed to be doing something.
And I remember Pat last week was just saying that a lot of people are wanting to put their, whether it's grass seed or anything and everything on their yard because the sun's finally out. So they want to do something outside. But like Scott just said and Pat said, wait till like mid-April is what I believe his.
It's going to green up anyway. I think it's kind of funny that he said you're just making hay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it just means you got to mow more grass is what it means. But thanks for the input. All right. Certainly one of our favorite callers. We've got a couple minutes here. Fulton from the north side. Hey, Fulton. Good morning. How are you? Fulton?
I think he's gone.
Hey, you think he's gone? Well, there we go.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah,
Thanks for the call, Fulton.
Yeah. We're the Home and Garden Show. You know, it's kind of funny how people help. Scott just called in, and they're trying to help. You know, they know what people are doing, and maybe they've done the mistakes themselves, and they just want to share. That's a really interesting trait of human beings.
That's a gardening thing, too.
It's a gardening thing, too, and there's more. First of all, if you've ever been to a gardening event with master gardeners or gardeners, more know-it-alls per square foot.
If you're at an event.
Oh, my gosh. And you try to be humble as you can and listen because they probably do have more experience than you. But it's interesting how people share information, is it not? Allison's got the frittata. We got to say something about Sully's Grill. They are open. And, Allison, what a breakfast.
Yeah, I actually got the casserole. So Sully's Grill, they do brunch now on the weekends. And right now there's their brunch. And we all tried a little bit different things. What did you...
Look at that frittata.
That's a frittata.
Oh, my gosh.
It's
frittata. Beautiful.
Now,
it's called
Jack,
potato frittata, which I just love.
And, Jack, there was only one set of silverware. So being the senior member of the broadcast team, you get to eat with your fingers.
Yeah.
Or a spoon. I have a spoon.
Oh, wait a minute. Here we go.
Yeah.
Cam, our board guy or engineer, field engineer, has come through for you.
Thank you.
Sully's Grill is a great place, great lunchtime menu, a little bit of a breakfast, brunch type menu too.
Get a drink while you shop.
So a lot of people don't know that Allisonville and Allisonville's Maggie's Bistro, they have a coffee bar and a beer and wine. And then here at Sullivan's, you can get beer and wine. But you can just order it at the window and then just shop around with it, which I think is almost more fun.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I would like to say to our caller, Scott, about lawns, Scott, quit going through the drive-through and go to a Sullivan Hardware someplace because
he's getting his chicken
this is
biscuit.
a nice little bistro, and a not bad price either.
Yeah.
Especially when we got Pat Sullivan's discount today. I love that. All right, it's the Home and Garden Show. When we come back, we're going to have a little bit of education for you to teach you a little bit more about what the pits and the challenges might be getting started too early. It is a little bit too early to get started, but digging is always appropriate. Jack will give us a couple of tips on that. You're listening to the Home and Garden Show. My name's Denny Smith. Allison is here. Jack is here. Cam's behind me. And, of course, Landon's back in studio. Taking your calls at 317-239-9393. 239-9393. Area code 317-239-9393. That'll get you in the queue. Landon back on Monument Circle will answer your call. And Jack Phibbs from Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan and Allison Lemons are both here, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. So if it's mechanical, I'll do my best, plumbing, heating. But, man, I've got some horticulture people here that really do know what they're doing. So if you got a question, reach out, just like Judy has reached out. Judy, thanks for calling the Home and Garden Show. What's up?
Hi. First of all, I'd like to say this is the best radio program there is.
Oh, you
Judy.
Sweetheart.
I love listening on Saturday mornings. But my question, I think you may have already answered one. I wanted to know if it was time to cut back the rose bushes yet.
I think you can get away with it. We tell people to go back 36 inches, but Jack, I think we're past the worst of it.
Yeah, and when you do that, you just want to make sure we have a couple days where it has time to kind of callus up and heal. So we don't want to dip below freezing in the next few nights. And if we don't have that, and I don't believe we do, and Denny's going to check
I'm going to take a look here real quick. But, Judy, are they somewhat protected? Where are they?
They're along a fence, but it's a chain link fence, so probably not really too protected.
So you may want to wait till next week if you can't. You may be middle of this upcoming week. It looks like we have some nights that may dip down to close to freezing. I would just hate for you to lose some of that rose bush. But if you can just wait, a few more days, you should be in the clear.
Why don't you tell her how you prune them back? What's the best way to prune them back?
So really, you can take it kind of all the way back. What Denny said, 36 inches is good, depending on how mature they are. Really want to leave like 6 to 8 of the biggest canes and kind of cut it back to maybe 18 inches tall, and then just go from there.
Okay. And my second question is, can you give me the schedule for when you put weed killer, fertilizer, and all that on the yard?
Sure. I would wait to the end of April for the first. I'm going to go with the Scots because that's what everybody knows, the 1, 2, 3, 4. But we mix it up a little bit. We go 1, 3, 2, 4. And the reason being is because we're pretty sure that most of the weeds that are germinating, we want to grab those and hit those in the summertime too. So if you go with the Scots program, what do you think, Jack? Towards the end of April, is that too late for the pre-emergent?
No, not at all, because that's when the ground's starting to heat up.
All right, so you're going to do Scots number 1 in April. Jack's second one, what would you think, like mid-June?
Around then, yeah.
Yeah, and that we would say and this is Dick Crumb's wisdom. Dick, as you remember, was our home and garden expert for 50 years here on WIBC. And he always said, wasn't he a great one? And he, by the way, he's still kicking. I talked to he and Jody occasionally, and he's still doing good. If he just wears doggone hearing aids, we'd have a much better conversation.
He does that on purpose.
Yeah, I think he does when I'm calling. But anyway, so 1, 3, and then the 2 would be in the latter part of August, maybe September, and then finally the last one. What do you think, Jack? October, November?
Late October.
Late October. So there you go, Judy. I hope that helps you.
It does, and I thank you very much.
You bet.
Thank you, Judy.
Thanks for the
Oh,
call.
so sweet.
Yeah, she said we were the best.
I know.
Maybe the best from 9 to 1.
It's so funny.
She didn't really narrow it down.
She wanted to prime us up for a good answer.
Is that what it is?
And
Hey, I'll take it.
It worked.
I'll take it any day of the week.
93 WIBC. It is the Home and Garden Show. Pat's at a conference. Is it the Do It Best conference?
The Do It Best in, like we've been saying all morning, conveniently in Florida. And what's really cool about these giant conventions is they got to close down Universal Studios for the Do It Best Center convention.
Oh, my goodness.
So Pat's probably in Harry Potter world right now.
Yeah.
And then Terry Stacy is at the Flower and Patio Show here at the fairgrounds, just about a couple minutes from us. And this is their last weekend as well. So it's a busy weekend for everybody.
It is a busy weekend. How do you get to shut down Universal Studios?
I don't know.
For
a whole bunch of hardware people. Yeah. That's crazy.
Our number is 239-90.
They're probably fixing things. Yeah. They're probably walking around fixing things, you think?
I bet they're all pointing it out.
There's a deal there, yeah.
Yeah, hardware guys. Hey, we got another caller here. Let's see if we can grab him before we go up for our 11 o'clock break. Dave joins us now. Hi, Dave.
Hey, I should have called last week because you talked a lot about lawn stuff today. Actually, I put down Jonathan Green, Very Green, crabgrass preventer last weekend. And after the snows we've had, I've had a lot of creeping Charlie come out, and it's kind of taken over some places. And I do have some Fertilome weed-free zone to put on that. So my question is, with all that said, a friend of mine said to either just spray it on it and let it do its work, or maybe to pull it and then spray it.
I would not pull it. It's awful early for creeping Charlie. Doggone. I mean,
I've seen some out and about that.
Have you
the
really?
Sunny spots in my yard even.
Yeah, it is a hard one to kill. So the speed-free zone is probably a good way to go. But I'm not for pulling it because that's going to stimulate more growth. I don't know. Jack.
I think pulling it would backfire. I think you could spray it, but again, read the label because if it's not warm enough outside,
you're wasting your money.
It's not going to be effective.
And the problem with that is to kill creeping Charlie, that's one of the most expensive herbicides for us to have to deal with. So,
and I also just remembered that Pat, and I think he got this tip from Dick Crum, speaking of, that if you mix it, if you put it in like a pump tank sprayer and you mix it with a little bit of dish soap.
Just a couple drops a day. That's a surfactant. What a great idea.
And that'll help the weed-free zone stick to the creeping Charlie better.
Yeah, creeping Charlie,
Yeah, I'm just taking my Pat Sullivan seriously today.
Yeah.
It goes by two different names, creeping Charlie and ground ivy.
Yeah.
And both of them are a pain in the butt to kill. I get that around my septic tank lid.
But you have to keep on it correctly.
Oh, golly, yeah.
Yeah, you can't just one and done, and don't pull it.
Would that be good to spray like today?
No, it's going to be too cold.
Tomorrow. Too cold.
Yeah,
okay.
If it warms up in the 60s, I think you'd be all right. But remember, the label is the law. So turn it over, take a look at it, and read it. And again, I always tell people call the 800 number because I called the Scott's 800 number once about that. It was a specialty weed killer. And they really, they're not just scientists. They are really slow. They slow it down for you so you can understand what they're saying.
That's good.
So, Dave, read the label, but I'd say at least 60 degrees, maybe 65.
I believe it's 65 to 85 is the ideal temperature to apply.
Okay.
All right.
Well, but my problem is I don't want it to spread even more.
Well,
that's true.
Well, you know what? So if you have some dish soap, I'd go ahead and try a small patch, see if it does work for you, and if not, just want to hold on.
And the whole idea is the uptake from the foliage. We want the greenery to uptake it. So wait till it gets the warmest part of the day, and then spray the snot out of it and say, listen here, buddy, there's more where that came from, so you might as well just die now. I mean, talk to him, okay?
That's how you know Denny's retired.
I'll shout it out then. Gotcha.
That's great. Dave, thanks for the phone call. Creeping Charlie, it is just nasty. It's every bit as bad as thistle. But at least
it comes up so quickly.
Yeah, and it's underneath the grass line. Unless you see it when you're mowing, you're not going to see it, whereas thistle you see all the time.
Yeah. And again, you have to keep spraying it over and over again. It's not like spraying one and done, which is what I prefer to do.
Yeah, it's sort of like lecturing kids. The first lecture isn't going to get it.
That's not much.
A couple times a week. Yeah, throw some dish soap on them.
Times a week. Yeah, I bet you were a good kid. You didn't get very many lectures, did you?
I think for the most part, as a good kid, I was definitely I didn't want to get in trouble, but I would sometimes. I also talked a lot in class, so.
Did you really?
I can't imagine.
Oh, I see. I would have thought, now, forgive me for this term, but I would have thought you'd have been a really goody two-shoes, that you would not do anything to get in trouble.
For the most part.
I don't see that for you.
It's the Home and Garden Show. That's Allison Lemon's lovely voice in place of Pat's. I've already gotten compliments that Allison does Pat better than Pat does.
Oh, I don't know about that.
And then my buddy Jack Phipps, born and raised around here, comes from the Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan up at about 113th and Allisonville Road, but 93 WIBC.
Well, some folks say that grown-up men are still just little boys, that really the only difference is the price of our toys. We go for macho symbols like guns and running shoes, pickup trucks, hunting ducks, and power tools, power tools, power tools. Yeah, you just plug them in the wall and think of all you can do.
The third hour. Pat finally took off the third hour.
Yeah.
Pat won't be here for the third segment, but
I hope he's enjoying it.
We'll get through. It's the Home and Garden Show. We're at 71st and Keystone for Pansy Roulette. The lovely Allison Lemons is going to explain that in just a second. But we also have Jack Phipps from Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan up at about 113th and Allisonville Road. If you haven't been in there, what a delightful place. Some of the best displays of trees and shrubs you can possibly imagine. And you guys also do planting service, don't you?
Oh, we do.
You do, you do. All right, Allison, you got to tell us about Pansy Roulette.
So, yeah, all of our locations today are celebrating the Big Spring Open House, and Pansy Roulette is a big part of it. So what you do is you go around, you shop for some items like home decor, garden accents and pottery, bird seed, bird houses, grill accessories, gourmet food items, or even some live plants and seed packets, all of that stuff. You're going to shop till you drop. Then you're going to pick a pansy on your way to the cashiers.
Don't open it.
Don't open it, because there's a little secret discount that the cashier is going to reveal, and it's going to be between 10 and 100% off your purchase today. And that is today and tomorrow at all locations. And also at Keystone and Allisonville, we are having free seminars.
Yeah, and here in just a little bit, we're going to have Brett come back. He's going to talk about is this the pollinators? And
they're doing
just
the pollinators and natives. Oh my! Right now,
is that lions and tigers and bears? Oh my! Yeah, okay. And there's other ones. Jenny, if you have not met Jenny has got long, reddish blonde hair, and she is a trooper. She's been here forever, but she does these pots.
Yeah, these containers that are
container thing.
Gorgeous, gorgeous containers. And she's going to give you some of her secrets at, is it 1 or 2?
2.
Okay, perfect.
You may not have seen her around the store, but she does so many commercial planners out around Indianapolis, too.
Really?
She mentioned she did all the planners at the Ironworks on the corner balcony. So if you drive past...
I know exactly where that is.
You'll see some of her work.
Yeah.
She gets around. It does... really good job.
That's pretty cool. That's the voice of Jack Phipps. Jack is one of the pros from Dover up at 113th and Allisonville. It's always good to have him in. In fact, I almost look forward to Pat being gone so I can talk to Jack.
Oh, Danny, likewise. I was thinking the same.
You were thinking the same. Well, it's the one person I can talk to on Saturdays that isn't insulting me.
Oh, okay, calm down.
Hey. All right, so we've got a caller. You can get online too, 317-239-9393, 317-239-9393. The handsome Landon will answer your call and get you in the queue, just as he did for Rebecca. Hey, Rebecca, welcome to Saturday Morning Radio. Rebecca? This is going real well. Okay, let's go to Plan
Rebecca?
B.
Is it because of Denny? If you can tell us, it's okay.
Was this a woodpecker question?
Okay, JMV.
Well, let's talk to JMV. JMV joins us.
We'll check back in with Rebecca in a little bit.
You hear John on the sports station.
Hello, Jack.
Hey, Johnny.
How are you doing, Jack?
Good. How are you?
Jack, you asked me a question. Let's flip the script on this bad boy. What do you got for me, Jack?
You mean sports related or matters of the heart? What are we talking? Finance?
Who do you have going all the way in March Madness?
Music, March Madness. Jack is right on target right there. What are you thinking, Jack?
Boom.
What would you like to ask? Just like let it flow right off the top of your head, buddy. What do you
I would
got?
like to know who you have in the Final Four and then you have going all the way.
I have my Final Four is Florida, Duke, Auburn, and Houston. No surprises there. And then Kelvin Sampson and Houston beating Auburn in the championship game, Jack. So,
okay.
And oddly enough, I'm not doing very well right now. Those teams just go wild.
I'm hearing that from a lot of people right now.
Isn't that how it always goes?
Day 2 was like a Greene County driving test, rear-ending type of deal right there. It was bad.
Oh, John, you have such a sweet way with the the English language. Hey, you still on for tonight, 6 o'clock to midnight?
What's our theme for tonight?
I am. And, Denny, I don't know how you feel about this because I know you're certainly more 70s and a little bit into the 80s, but this is like a night in we celebrate the decade of the 90s. Is that hurtful to you at all?
Not at all. In fact, I've been listening to Paul Simon's Graceland album, and I think that was in the, You Can Call Me Al, Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes. I sort of remember that from the 90s.
Yeah,
wow, really getting into the now.
Boogie for you. How about Boot Scoot Boogie for Denny?
Boot Scoot and Boogie. Now, you don't seem to warm up to some of my country suggestions. Landon won't even call because he knows you won't take country music.
Sometimes I do. I like what you request from Alabama to Eddie Rabbitt to Juice Newton, Ronnie Millsap, kind of the crossover, late 70s, early 80s stuff. But
don't forget Shania Twain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to try and call you tonight, but John, for those of you that don't know, John does a show on 105.7 from 6 to midnight, and you can call in with anything you'd like to hear on the radio, even the strange things, because that's usually what he calls my selections. But he takes the calls, but it's hard to get in. I mean, you got people from California, from Florida. I heard them from Texas. John, you've got them from all over the planet.
They are calling nationwide. Now, hey, Jack, from the 1990s, what do you want me to play for you tonight, buddy? What do you got?
Let's see. I would like to hear, on the spot.
Yeah, see, you sort of put us on the spot because we're getting older,
90s.
I want to hear a couple Sheryl Crow hits.
All right, everybody else on the set, little helper for Jack here, 1990.
No, I'm not a big Sheryl Crow fan because and here's why. Because during COVID, she wanted to limit me to 2 sheets of toilet paper.
We're talking 90s, not COVID.
Okay. All right, so before she limited me to my toilet paper.
So I'd like to hear My Favorite Mistake.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, well, you know what? Hey, Jack, it's interesting Denny brought that up because did you know that she had an alternative title to My Favorite Mistake? It was called Please Limit Buying Toilet Paper is what Denny just brought up.
Wow.
I'm glad she went with the first.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to talk out of school.
Call too, like all I want to do or you've got too much toilet paper in your closet.
Yeah,
so,
too much toilet paper. John, now fess up. How many extra packages of toilet paper do you have at Casa JMV?
I just went around like a dog and rubbed it on the carpet floor sometimes. Like when your dog does that.
John, that's kind of gross. Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you on Thursday this week. I guess we got some studio time together. I'm sort of looking forward to that.
I can't. Was it me and you and Lance, right?
And Lance's team. I have no idea what we're doing, but it'll be fun to see. I don't think I've ever done anything in studio with you.
He actually came to I was live at Brothers downtown yesterday and did a little mini hoops mania stuff and did a live show, and he stopped by and came on. So in the world, you know this as well, Denny, as anybody, in the world of plumbing, it does not get much better than that of our good friend Lance.
That's true. And you know that he is world-class barefoot skier. I don't know if you've ever seen his videos. If you want to see what Lance does in barefoot, he does barefoot jumps. He starts under the water. He comes up, gets on bare feet. He can start on his back. But he's an amazing barefoot water skier, John.
Hey, Jack, have you ever seen an episode that's infamous now from Happy Days when Fonzie water skis and jumps the shark?
Jumps the shark, yeah.
I hate to say it, I've never seen Happy Days.
Does that with those skis. That's how
That is
cool
so-
Fonzarelli has nothing on Lance. He could do that with no skis.
I literally did not know that was a thing until we met him, and now I can't stop watching videos of it because it's crazy.
I can't get up on water skis. I can't even imagine getting up on.
I can barely get in a boat.
Well, he lives on the White River, and that's why he bought that place so he could ski. But his ski boat it limits the wake, and I can't remember what the brand of the boat is, but they're custom, and the propulsion really keeps the wake down, which is what water skiers who are using just the soles of their feet. And the newest thing is for guys that will try to use the palms of their hands to get up and do different things. I mean, these guys are athletes, but...
Wait, they water ski on their hands?
Like a handstand?
What they do is they get on... You still got to hold on to the rope one way or another. But what they can do is they can put their hands behind them or in front of them and then get their feet and their fannies up in the air. So they're skiing on their hands. So, John, we're going to have to try that. We're going to have to talk Lance into taking us out and teaching us.
I would love to see a video of you and JMV.
So, yeah, I'm going to go shirtless all summer long, so I'll do it. I'll do it shirtless. That's what.
Now,
no shirt.
I wanted to
to.
compliment you. I watch your things on social media, and you've gone from the ugly old man, worn-out T-shirt look. You're starting to look pretty snappy now. Now, don't be messing it up by going shirtless.
Please tell me though. You guys like my idea of making my face look longer with the way I do my hair now. Have you guys noticed that? Does my face look longer and skinnier because of the way I do my hair?
Sure.
I'll give it, yeah.
It definitely does.
Are you trying to do it like
skepticism in studio here? I don't know. A little skepticism. Does it should I stop?
So did you read this on the internet, or what inspired it?
You know who did it? I tell you who did it. Is that stinking Gina Galeros of Wish TV Channel 8, little ice cream princess.
Okay.
She said, quote, "I think you need maybe a new look." And I thought, what do you mean?
Okay.
This look's not enough for everybody out there? And she goes, no, your hair. Have you ever tried to do your hair a different way? And it was her.
Have you ever noticed that television
Well, it looks
people
good.
are
It
like
really
that.
does look good.
Yeah. Television people worry about their hair. They worry about
Well, they
everything
have to. They're on
Well,
TV.
it doesn't matter. This is radio. This is theater of the mind.
Well, now we're on YouTube all the time.
I know. But it's a distant shot. I mean, it's
That's true.
It's a
Pixels are a little more blurry.
John, thanks for calling. I look forward to listening tonight at 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Give me the number. I can never remember the number for people to call in with their request.
It is 317-681-1057, Denny. And by the way, Denny, you've looked the same for 45 years. We all can.
Yes, he has.
God bless you.
Same uniform and everything.
I'll see you Thursday, brother. You take care in the meantime, okay?
See ya.
All right. That's our buddy JMV from The Fan, 107.5. And then also on Saturday nights from 6 o'clock to midnight. It's a fun show. Just listening to people call in, which is funny. Allison, hi, JMV, this is Johnny from such and such. It's like they grew up in the old neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
He welcomes everybody with such a flair.
And now he has a fresh new haircut, so the confidence is through the roof.
Well, I'm going to have to see this because I haven't seen the fresh new. Is it the high and tight look? With
Yeah,
the little...
well, apparently it makes his face look longer.
Oh, boy.
So good.
Wow, Just a Doubt. Or Just a Girl by No Doubt is a 1990s song.
You didn't know that?
No, it just seems like such a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. It was 35 years ago. I mean, that's a long
when I
time
was
ago.
born.
Our number, 317-239-9393. Get on board with us. Landon will take your call, get you into the queue. In the meantime, you are listening to 93 WIBC. It's the Home and Garden Show brought to you by the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis certainly happens to help you through it. It's 844-FIX-INDY, 317-239-9393. It's the Home and Garden Show, 93 WIBC, and the lost have been found. Rebecca is back with us. Rebecca, thanks for calling back, or at least reaching back out a second time. How are you?
I'm fine. Sorry about a while ago. I'll try not to keep you, except I just got to tell you, I just love you guys. I've listened since I was 16 years old, and so I've been married for over 40 years. So anyway, I've been listening a long
love
time.
that.
I love you guys.
We love that. Thank you so much.
Rebecca?
It's fantastic that, something can really last. Sometimes things are here for a while and then they don't they're not here anymore. Anyway, here's my story, and it doesn't really have to do with gardening. I'm so curious about this because I was sleeping in this morning, and at 8:30, I heard what I thought was I guess a jackhammer or something, like they would chop up concrete. And so, I got to tell you this much. I live on a small farm in northwestern Fulton County, and so I don't have anybody close to me. It's at least 600 feet to the next property. Anyway, so I'm out here by myself. I'm not in town. All right, so I hear this jackhammer. I thought, what in the world is that? And then it paused for a few seconds, and then it did it again. And the third time it did it, I got up, and I raised my window, and I was kind of resting my arms on the window as I was listening, and my window frame was vibrating.
How big was the woodpecker?
Well, that was going to be my next question, because my husband had told me about them as being in southern Indiana, down around Spencer, on the White River. Okay, so he had told me that, but I have never heard one up here or seen one. Would it be that strong?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know if they migrate, but I remember being a Boy Scout up in when we would go camping up in Wisconsin, and there were woodpeckers up in Wisconsin, so I'd have to believe that they might make it to Rochester, Indiana. But golly.
I just hardly believe it.
Yeah.
So,
there's a lot of different ways to deal with them, Rebecca, if you want to get rid of them, but you have to do things from the outside. There's Mylar ribbon, which is sort of like that aluminum foil, only it's a lot more supple. And it reflects in a way it reflects in a way that just makes them mad, and they don't want to get close to you. But they're looking for insects. So another thing you could do would be to spray, a pesticide where they're working, because if there's no bugs, there's going to be no hammering.
well, I've got enough room that there's enough room for him and me both. And I don't have any exposed wood on my home or my outbuilding, so I'm not going to worry about that. I couldn't
That's
believe
weird that he's pecking the window.
So I think I remember, because I had heard what I thought was construction in my backyard. I walked out, there's a big pileated woodpecker banging on the electrical pole, the big metal drum at the top, and it sounded like a jackhammer.
Isn't that amazing?
So I know exactly where you're coming from. I think he was looking for a mate, calling.
Sure.
Okay. I love you guys.
Well, thanks, Rebecca, and thanks for calling back, because we did worry about you. Okay?
And I love Allison. I just love her.
Oh, my gosh, that's so nice.
Addition to the wall.
Oh, my gosh.
She is.
Thank you so much. Your check's in the mail, okay?
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, Rebecca. All right, we appreciate you. And I do need to read these.
That's why she called back.
Our favorite last week we had standing in on the Michaelis Corporation was our friend Monsignor Joe Shadle. And he's just responded back. He says, Allison is much better at commercial than Pat. Since he's not on tomorrow, I will be listening to most of the show. And then he goes on to say, let me know if you need me for any of the Michaelis commercials. And it's great knowing that there are no 10% coupons, but knowing Pat, there are probably a bunch of 5%.
Yeah, and they're labeled with Denny.
Yeah. One more thing. Joe Shadle says Father Glenn was great at barefoot skiing.
Oh, wow.
No kidding, he says.
Love
I wonder
to see
if that's
that.
true. Our number, 317-239-9393. When we come back, we'll be talking to Tom and Vonnie, and then hopefully we'll get Brett here to talk about some of these seminars that we're having right here at 93 WIBC. All right, it's not the first day of spring, but it's pretty cool. It's starting to warm up just a little bit. Earlier in the show, we talked about the yellow flower custom. It's a Spanish custom, and you'll see some yellow flowers here on our broadcast table. It's to remind me that everybody says, well, why is it yellow, Denny? He says, well, yellow is the color that symbolizes joy, optimism, and the sun. Flowers of this color represent longer days, warmth, and sunlight, and all I can say to that is amen. I'm about tired of winter. Jack, you guys are in full bloom up at Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan.
are.
It's pretty neat to see the color coming in. Do you have anything else besides pansies right now?
Oh, yeah. So we are well stocked on our evergreen trees and shrubs, deciduous trees, and then we have a few deciduous shrubs kind of starting to come in. But Keystone is well stocked as well. So if you want to get started, you can definitely get planting.
People always ask when's the best time to plant, and I always say in the fall after the leaves fall off. But right now is a pretty good time. The trees are coming, the bushes are coming out of dormancy of such, and I think we've probably got another 30 days here for us to get things into the ground. That'd be pretty cool.
That just gives them a head start, and then as soon as they are ready to start growing, they're here ready to go.
Sounds good to me. Well, sitting down, putting on a headset for us is one of the instructors from all of the seminars we're having today. Allison, you want to introduce?
Yeah, so this is Brett from our garden center here at Sullivan Hardware and Garden.
Brett, welcome.
And today we had several free seminars. And Brett did the pollinators and native plants one.
Oh, what fun.
And it just wrapped up. How was it?
Oh, it was great. It was small, but it was intimate, so it was really fun.
That's fun.
I get to blow off a lot, so it's great for me.
Yeah, well, one of the things about you, Brett, is that you have a lot of knowledge, and all you have to do is wind it up, and here it comes. I mean, you really do have a depth of knowledge that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah.
What's a good pollinator to get started with?
Let's see. Usually for Central Indiana, a great one is just Echinacea or something like Coreopsis. Those are both natives that are easy to take care of.
Are those bushes? What are those?
I'm sorry. Echinacea is...
that's what I take for colds.
What's the so the coneflower?
Coneflower
is a common name.
And,
okay.
Black-eyed Susan. There we go.
Okay.
And so those are really exceptional ones that they can heat tolerant, drought tolerant.
And they
full
bloom
sun, and
all
they
summer.
bloom all summer, especially if you stay on them.
Oh, yeah.
You keep do a little deadheading and stuff like that. Yeah. They can bloom from
Coneflowers are
June
so cool. They're just big
September.
braggers. They stand up there, and you'll see those at the state parks at the entrance. They're really showing them off, and they come in a lot of different varieties.
Bees love them, too. You'll see them covered in honeybees, bumblebees, carpenter bees.
Butterflies as well.
When can you start planting those?
Quite frankly, as soon as we get them in, we can start planting them.
And they're supposed to be coming soon.
Very soon.
Stay
in the
tuned.
next couple of weeks. So,
Okay.
And I think the temperature is going to stay decent. So I think if we don't get too cold again, the ground's going to warm up, and it'll be a great time to
What's
start
tough with the
planting.
perennial to plant this time of year is you want it to be in line with where it would be in the ground naturally now. So if we get something that's a little further along, and we could still get one late season cold snap that could do in something like that. So
it dies, and then
we always have it until May 15th. That's the last frost day.
But if something happens,
Mother's
you can always
Day.
get another.
That's true.
Oh, look at you. You're in retail.
Speaking of Pat Sullivan.
71st and Keystone.
Yeah. Jack, behind you, there's a camera, and we just found out that Pat's been watching us this whole
On
time
his
from
security
Florida.
cameras, in Florida. He can see us.
He's letting me know what I need to say.
All right, as far as the natives, because your seminar was on pollinators and on natives, what's the situation with natives? What can people do when they come into a garden center? What should they be looking for when we say natives?
So in general, natives are usually plant material that grows in this region, not just necessarily Indiana, but Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, Michigan.
Kind of the Midwest area.
The Midwestern area that can tolerate our temperature swings, our extreme winters sometimes, and our extreme summers as well. And there's a lot of plant material that can tolerate that. And there's a lot of plant material in the past couple of decades that have been moved from just a wild plant to something that's a cultivar or something like that has been trained toward being more of a garden plant and not just something you find in a side ditch or something like that.
So you hear that term
from,
like a nativar. So it's a bred variety of a native.
Yeah.
So you get it to be a little more, like you said, garden friendly.
What I remember is my first gym class that I really remember. The instructor said,
Love to see where this is going.
Some of you are going to turn out to be hoods, and some of you might even be president of the United States. And that's what reminds me about the natives, because they're either going to be cultivars, things that we really want, or they're going to be invasive species.
Right.
You can either be the good guys or the bad guys.
Right. And it depends on where you want to go with it. If you want a native wildflower garden that you just let it run rampant, does its own thing, it competes within its own system, you can do that. It'll be a little shaggy looking part of the year. But
almost like a cottage garden look.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like that's more trendy these days anyway, is kind of letting it be. What would be the easiest native plant to start with?
Once again,
so I think, like you said, the coneflowers.
The coneflowers, that's just the way to go.
Coreopsis, because they self-proliferate. They spread either by stolons or root systems and or by seed. So they just can, they can really fill in a spot really quickly.
And it's harder to kill them.
Yeah, perennial can colonize an area where they're dropping.
I'm just being honest.
And that's a great one for that.
Yeah. I don't think Allison has the green thumb that we all think. It might be beige, but it's not quite brown. But
I think I saw a light shade of green.
Yeah, I can tell you some things, some facts I've memorized, and that's about it. But
that's about it.
I'm more of an appreciator of you guys.
Well, Brett, when people come, do they need pencil and paper, or is this easy stuff for them to remember? Are they armed and dangerous?
It's fairly easy. We have a few handouts to help them out and stuff like that. But, you can stand and question me for the next 20 minutes and I'll just keep on talking. So.
Whenever I've needed your help, and you probably don't remember, but whenever I've needed your help, you will go as deep as anybody wants to go. I mean, they can just keep pulling back the layers of the onion because you're a wealth of knowledge.
If you have questions, come in and you will get answers.
I will say that's what I honestly truly like about Sullivan's, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a little biased. Yeah, but it's true. Everyone here, I can just come down during my lunch break and ask them about, my grandma had a question about why her bush is dying, and then one of them will just tell me, and they'll grab a product.
Excited to tell you why.
Yes, and they'll tell me why, and I don't have to because. Too, you can always use Google, yes, but even with our callers calling in, it's just different when
educated search goes so far.
Yes, and people who really know what's going on can actually tell you from experience.
They enjoy it. Brett's not here because of Pat Sullivan. I mean, he's here because
partly, maybe a little bit.
Did I say that out loud? Sorry, Pat, I'm waving at the camera.
Yeah, wave at the camera, everyone.
We're just tricking Pat. Well, thanks, Brett. And do you have another seminar? Are you done?
We have another one coming up, but it's another set of people, so we'll
but not you.
That. Yeah, I'm going to go actually watch over the nursery while those two are at work.
Yeah, Planning 101 is our next one at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Thanks, Brett.
Thank you for having me. See you guys later.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brett.
That's the famous Brett. There's a lot of famous people here. There's the famous Jenny. There's the famous Carrie. There's the famous Brett. Everybody there, if you need help at Sullivan Hardware, always somebody to help.
And I think we'll talk to Jenny at the top of the hour. She's been doing all the container gardening demos here at Sullivan's, and she's a lot of really good tips, and we've been bragging on her a lot today. So I was like, well, let's just bring her in. So we'll talk to her at 12:05.
Before we go back to break, and Tom and Vonnie will get you right after the break, but let's tell them one more time about what Pansy Roulette is all about.
Yeah, so it's a big spring open house at all of the Sullivan locations. We are at the 71st and Keystone, and like Denny said, Pansy Roulette's the big thing. So what you're going to do is you're going to shop to your heart's desire, and all of your products from home decor, garden accents and pottery,
Yellow House
stuff, grill accessories, gourmet food items, and of course the live plants. Those are all part of the deal.
All the plants.
And you're just going to load up your cart and then pick up Pansy on your way to the cashier, and they are going to reveal what kind of discount you got. And it
they are going to reveal. Don't do your own reveal.
Yeah, and it does remind you not to open your discount until you get to the cashier. But yeah, you can get between 10 and 100%. There is still 100% out there, so it could be you. At each store. That's a good point.
There's 200% tokens out there. Let's just say that.
Oh my gosh, what if you went to all 4 locations and just got all of them?
Monsignor Shadle is just kidding. There are no 5%. He was just pointing out that Pat can be a little bit of a scoundrel at times.
That's the Denny discount. That's what we call around here.
That's what I would get. That's exactly right.
But that's all happening today and tomorrow as well. So if you can't make it out today, all locations are doing it tomorrow as well.
But samples and seminar today.
Yep.
Sampling tomorrow as well.
Yes.
That's right. And since Landon Coons is back in studio and just sort of lounging around right now, why don't you make his life a little bit busy? Give us a call, 317-239-9393. 317-239-9393, right here on WIBC. 93 WIBC, it's the Home and Garden Show. Today, the show's on the road. We're at 71st and Keystone. A lot going on here. We've got Pansy Roulette. Allison just shared with you. We'll do that again, I'm sure. But Allison Lemons, Jack Phipps, Landon Coons is back in studio taking phone calls. We're brought to you by the Michaelis Corporation. If you get in trouble from water, storms, fire, wet basins, mold, fungus, whatever it might be, these are really, really nice people. They're local, they're family-owned, and Michaelis happens to help you through whatever challenge you might have. 844-FIX-INDY. Put that number on your electrical panel. If you get in trouble, you'll know who to call. All right, we said we were going to get back and talk to some folks. We've got Vonnie on the line. You can give us a call, too, 317-239-9393. Hey, Vonnie, how are you?
Good morning. Oh, it's very nice out here today. Yeah, better than snow. Yes.
Yes, now, finally.
Yes. Oh, one thing is it time to clean out our bird houses?
Bluebird houses for sure. I think that they'll be coming in pretty quick. I would assume that all of them. I was thinking also about the bat houses and the owl houses. The owls tend to get a little bit more possessive if you have an owl house, but Jack, I would think clean them all out right now.
Yeah.
Well, especially with the bird flu going around. I mean, we should probably do that anyway.
Just check that they're not filled before you got to clear now.
Knock before you enter.
What type of bird houses do you have, Bonnie?
Wren houses. I have lots of wren houses.
The wren houses. They're a sweet little bird.
Yeah. I have something that bats can stay in during the summertime, but it's, pretty high up. I'm not going to mess with it. Okay, my main reason is I called. Last year, twice, I treated my lawns to kill the moss. It's all back. How does one get rid of moss?
Get rid
sunlight.
of the moisture.
Yeah, get rid of the moisture, but more sunlight. I'm assuming it's underneath a tree.
Partially. Yeah, I can't cut the tree down, guys.
Takes two. Yeah, no, I'm not asking you to do that.
Put on instead of the grandchildren.
There might be, and there is a product that used to be called Moss Be Gone. Crummy talked about it. Pat talks about it, but there are moss products, and what that's nature's way of filling a void. That nature is pretty cool. That it sort of likes the color green, and if you don't have anything growing there, they want to fill it up. Where Mother Nature wants to do it. So it doesn't bother me, but a lot of people it bothers them, especially when it gets on their walking stones and they can be kind of slick. So I think it's called Moss Be Gone.
And then Bonite has a product called Moss Max.
I think that's what I used. What is it? Moss Max?
Moss Max, MAX, yeah, and that would be a liquid spray hose end, so you could just put it on and spray probably quite a few treatments.
There you go, Vonnie.
Okay, now I have another question. I saw somewhere where they say, like, I have all these stones, that you should sprinkle baking soda and it will kill the weeds.
Oh, I've seen that too.
That raises the pH, and I would think that if you get weeds out of their growing zone, which is normally about 6, maybe 6.5 up to about 8, 8.25. So that might work, Jack.
Could work.
Yeah.
If you're opposed to using chemicals, worth a shot.
Yeah.
Give it a shot, Vonnie. Let us know.
Soda. Yeah, I have all this baking soda that I put in the boxes in my refrigerator and freezers. And you
absolutely,
change them out
when they're
every
done,
3 months.
That's
so
right.
Now
use
I have
them up.
A use. Other than laundry,
you can't believe what all. Yeah, baking soda is used for so many things. People use that for brushing teeth. They use it for toenail fungus. So how are your toenails, Vonnie? Are they kind of funged up, or are they
beautiful?
They're beautiful toenails. Well, I would expect nothing less from the Hendricks County Princess. Vonnie, thank you so much for giving us a call. It's always good to hear from you. Okay.
Kiss,
all right, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Kiss. Bye-bye. 317-239-9393. 317-239-9393. Give us a call like Kathy has. Hey, Kathy, how are you?
Hi there. I have a question about boxwoods.
Okay.
I have 6 5-foot-tall boxwoods, and I'm questioning whether or not they can be transplanted, and maybe whether or not they're too mature to risk doing that, and also who might be qualified to do that.
That's a great question. Boxwoods have a good ball of roots. They're not like the spruces where they spread out really close to the surface. They really do have a good ball. I would think that if you went out at least a foot around it, or maybe a little bit longer. What is the diameter of the boxwood?
I have not measured that, but I think they were put in the home probably in 1996. So I suppose they're at least 3 feet across.
Are they growing into each other?
They are not. They've been trimmed a few times, but not in the last several years.
It's a crapshoot, girlfriend. I'm sorry. I don't have enough experience. I would think that if you went out far enough, Dick always said that if you're going to transplant something, the best thing you can do is make your job hard. And you make your job hard by going out farther and farther from the trunk of the tree and getting a bigger ball of dirt. How far do you want to move them?
I want to make a row of them across the other side of the yard to make like a natural wall, since they're about 5 foot tall.
Are you patient? Are you a patient woman?
Well, I'm going to hire someone to do it.
Oh, you're going to hire someone to do it?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I would. Someone because it's a lost
Here's what you.
transplant.
Yeah. Call the folks at Sundown Gardens. Are you north, south, east, or west? Where are you?
I'm in the very far east side of town, kind of towards
East side. Okay. Real quick, because we're coming up on a hard out. Thanks for the phone call, but I would call Sundown Gardens.
Okay.
There's a north store, and there's also the south store, which is Miss M's Home and Garden. They would be able to answer that question so much better than I.
And may be able to do it for you.
Well, and just be warned, it may end up being cheaper to get new boxes planted than have those transplanted.
It's the Home and Garden Show right here on 93 WIBC.
Well, some folks say that grown-up men are still just little boys, that really the only difference is the price of our toys. We go for macho symbols like guns and running shoes, pickup trucks, hunting ducks, and power tools, power tools, power tools. Yeah, you just plug them in the wall and think of all you can do.
It's the final hour of the Home and Garden Show. Saturday, March 22nd. Here we are in good old central Indiana. Can't figure out whether we're going to be cold or warm, sunny or cloudy, rainy or whatever.
But it is spring.
But it is spring. That's exactly right. Hey, we are at Sullivan Hardware. There are a lot of seminars going on here for Pansy Roulette. And one of the folks that is joining us right now has been doing something on planting that many of us always think we can do, but we're really not very good at it. If you've ever seen the big planters, maybe 20-gallon, 30-gallon, there is a real pro here at Sullivan Hardware. She's a cute little blonde redhead. I'm not even sure what color it is, but Jenny has been my friend forever, and nobody does pots better than you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I used to tell people you were an expert on pot, and of course they thought you were a dealer. Yeah. But you're teaching a class, and it's a fun little class for those people that don't know. These big pots, they take a lot of soil and let you put in do you put a false bottom in them?
No. What I tell people to do is use potting soil or potting mix, not topsoil. And then you want to pick out your plants and arrange them how you want, but make sure you kind of pack it down as you're going.
You've got a real talent. Now, Jack always taught me thriller, filler, spiller.
Correct.
Is that Jenny's?
That is mine, but I also do other things. But that is like
we
the general.
Call those the chiller.
Yeah,
the chiller. It's a new
that's the
element.
general, consensus of what you want it to have. A high point, a focal point. You want filler, and then you want some things oozing over the side because ours are made to go in pots that somebody might have that are cement or pottery, and it just goes right in. So having that drape kind of hides any gaps and such.
Oh, sort of all the imperfections.
It's like a false, like they did themselves.
It's like a bed skirt to hide
yes,
the mess.
Like a
yes.
bed skirt.
So when I'm making Christmas pots or summer pots or spring, I always make sure that I have some type of flow over.
I got to get you a sweatshirt that says "Pots Are Us."
Yes.
Yeah, you're the best pot dealer that I know.
Well, thank you.
You are doing something for St. St. Margaret's Guild this year. Are you working with the pots?
No, what I'm doing this year, I'm doing the designer show home pots.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
That'll be fun. That's an honor to me.
Yeah. Well, you're really good at it. If you haven't met this lady, when you come out, I just remember asking about ferns. I thought a fern is a fern. Oh, hell no. I mean, what are 12? What'd you tell me? 12 different types of ferns?
All different kinds. Some like shade. Some we carry Kimberly Queens like sun. There's different things. Some are annual, some are perennial. But we always try to educate people as to what is what.
I always tell people to find the lady that looks like she's a hairdresser because you always have the gloves on.
Oh.
Yeah, so your color and hair, whatever you're doing. But
it's hilarious.
Yeah, sweet Jenny. All right, so what's the specifics in your class? You got another one coming up at 2 o'clock.
I've got one coming up. This one is Planting 101, and this goes over trees, shrubs, perennials, because some people think that once they plant something, they water it once and it's done, and that's not the case.
All right, we just took a call.
But why, Jenny? That's the way I want it to happen.
Number one word I can tell you is water, water, water. And a lot of people, we do try to educate people, Allisonville and here, about how much importance watering is. Fertilizing is important as well, but water is the key as it gets hotter. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go over how the proper way to plant a tree, how deep, how wide, what you want to amend with, how much you want to water, etc.
Right. Now hold that thought.
And that's at 1 o'clock here at Keystone, by the way.
We just took a phone call from a listener, Kathy. She has some tall ornamental boxwoods.
Okay.
And I'm guessing they're about 2 foot around, but I don't think we ever got to that.
Okay.
She wants to transplant them to the other side of the driveway. Is that a doable thing for?
It's a doable thing if she does it in the spring or fall. I prefer spring because they have a chance to get acclimated. I think when you move something in the fall, you take that chance if it's not in its place and it has a hard time kind of adapting. So I would do it in the spring.
All right. What advice would you have for Kathy? Because I'm sure she's still listening. Now, Kathy, pay attention. If you missed this, send me an email at denny@wibc.com. All right. So what's the best thing she can? Now, these are, what'd she say, 20 years old?
Okay. So being that old, they may not make it. That's a pretty old shrub. She can still try. Okay. But I would recommend amending the soil. And we here at Sullivan's carry, mushroom compost, cow manure, land and seed, various types of compost. I would take some of that, some topsoil, and kind of mix it in with her existing. You want to keep her existing soil, but her soil may be drained of nutrients at this point. So by adding that to it, it's going to help it kind of get adjusted.
Get it out of the shock of transplant.
Yes, and then she's going to want to be very good about watering because it is being ripped out. It's going to go into shock. So
Jenny from the Garden Center here at 71st and Keystone has joined us, and she's sort of like Jack on steroids. She's been around for a while, and she really knows these things. So on this transplanting, I want to make sure that we give Kathy some guidance. How much of a root ball does she need to dig out for these?
She needs to get as much roots as possible.
All right.
I mean, being that old scares me because 20-year-old boxwoods, that's really something I probably personally would not want to move
so
myself.
She should buy a new one. I mean, as a retailer.
I mean, yeah, I just think it's going to be, it's one thing to have something 2 years old and move it because it hasn't really spread out much, but being 20 years old is going to really mess with the roots, and she can't get them all. I mean, she's going to be breaking some.
Well, here's what we're going to tell her. Whatever she does, if she transplants, we're going to tell her to blame Jack.
Okay.
So go for it. I'll take the fall.
But I mean, like I said, she can try, but the main key I would suggest to her is besides watering it, also get like a root stimulator, and we sell that here at Sullivan's as well. That will help the roots kind of get used to its new spot quicker. So with doing that and the soil amendments, she might be okay.
How long have you been doing this?
45 years.
I was going to say.
45 years.
She knows a couple things.
Yeah, she knows a couple things. Obviously, you like planting the planters, the big pots.
I just like the point of being creative. I like how people, respond to them. And as you know, from knowing me, I do all 4 seasons. So I do spring, summer, fall, winter, whatever somebody wants. And I want to also tell people that they can bring in their own pot if they choose, or they can buy one of our, grab and goes. I mean, I can make whatever they want to bring in. But some customers have concrete or have something too heavy.
Is there a charge for your service or just the plants you're putting in?
Well, basically, when I make them here, we do charge labor and soil and the little fiber pot and all that goes into it. Now, if I go to someone's house because they have great big concrete urns, that's a whole
go
separate.
out to somebody's house
Yes,
to do this?
yeah, I have for years. Yeah.
Well, to her point, sometimes they're too heavy, like the concrete ones.
Right.
They're impossible.
If you can't bring that planter here, you go to the planter.
Yeah, I mean the biggest ones I ever did that I couldn't bring, it was where Peyton Manning used to live, and they were 40 inches wide urns, and that's like an all day long job, and he had them all across the front of his house.
Did they let you?
Horticulturist for the stars.
Did they let you pick out what you wanted in there?
Well, what happened, the people that bought the house from him, I met them here at Sullivan's, and they came and I helped them pick out, I helped them with what I was going to do, and then when they say, yes, I like your idea, they buy it all here, and then I go to their house and do it, and then I charge my own personal labor.
And this is strictly more containers?
Yes. I don't do landscaping because we have a landscaping service, but I do pots here and then outside of here.
First of all, I thought you were the pot lady. Now you're the container lady. Is there any other ladies?
That's a nice way of saying pot.
Pot. Yeah. Pot.
But yeah, I did want to mention the grab and go. So if someone was interested in your containers, how would they?
So if they wanted to come in, we've always got them made. But if they wanted me to do a certain color combination, they picked out their own flowers, I can do whatever they ask me to do.
You are a redhead, aren't you?
But I just
you are a redhead, yes.
But I just wanted them to know that they can either bring their own containers to me, or they can buy the grab and goes. We have various sizes. Right now I'm doing 12 and 15 inch, wide, but we have ones that are bigger and ones that are smaller, so it's up to them.
I was just going to say measure the inside of your pot when you come in if you've never shopped for one before, because there are those diameters.
Yes.
And then sometimes if you're between, you can kind of trim off some of that fiber pot, and it'll fall right down into your 14-inch pot.
Yeah.
And how long does that take? Is it something where people just drop it off and they come back in a few days, or is it?
Usually I make pots for people as far as customs between Tuesday and Thursday, and I'm doing it today because we're having these seminars. Usually Tuesday through Thursday are my days of making customs. And then I was going to tell you something else. Oh, so the ones that we're doing now are for spring, and I want to make sure people know that, spring planters aren't going to go all summer. So there's spring planters, there's summer planters. Your longest living planters are going to be your summer and your Christmas. That will last you the longest.
All right, so
spring and fall don't last as long.
So I'm going to
But they are pretty.
I'm going to ask you a medical
Necessary.
question. How's your back?
My back hurts.
Your back hurts.
But I'm also 62, so
Yeah.
I'm due for that. So.
Well, sweet Jenny has joined us. If you come in, she is normally in the third bay. Is it greenhouse number 4?
Bay 4.
Bay 4.
It's in the greenhouse.
It's in the greenhouse. And look for a nice-looking lady with reddish, blondish hair. Who looks very competent, but she's not bossy. You have always been so sweet to me when I come in.
I try.
Even before you knew I was doing radio with Pat. I mean, you were just so
Well, you've always been friendly to me, too. So, you've always been fun to talk to.
Well, thanks. And the next, go ahead.
I was going to say, and again, she's doing 2 classes today. So at 1 p.m., the Planting 101, and then, and that was the one about the trees and like how to plant.
Any kind of plant, the proper way of planting, the proper way of maintaining that, because we want people to buy a plant and be satisfied. We don't want to see them buy a tree and have it dead in a month.
Yeah.
So that's what's so important about spreading our word of what to expect afterwards,
Absolutely.
what's the water recommendations. I mean, there's a lot to deal with.
Do it the right way.
It's not just buying a tree and plopping it in.
Come with
Exactly.
questions, yeah.
Pardon me?
Come with questions for you, too.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
And then at 2 o'clock, she's going to continue that container planning demos. And honestly, if you can't make it out today, she's around all the time, and she is such a great person to ask questions to.
You're the best,
Thank
Jenny.
you.
Thanks for
Thank
coming.
you, Jenny. We
Thanks for
appreciate
coming.
you.
Thanks for having me.
It's the Home and Garden Show. When we come back, we're going to have Patty, Jeff, and also Mr. Fulton might be joining us too. It's right here on 93 WIBC. Ethan Patterson got the day off, and Landon Coons, one of our old producers and board op guys.
You may know him as Jimmy.
As Jimmy, that's right. He has been banished to the afternoons with Tony Katz. So this is sort of like a vacation for him. Landon, it's good to have you back. Thank you, sir.
It's been an honor, guys.
Also, let's see, joining us right now, we have Patty. Hey, Patty, welcome to the Home and Garden Show.
Hi.
Hi, Patty.
I'd like to ask about those Japanese beetles, the little ladybug-looking things.
Yeah, are they in your house too?
Yeah, oh
yes,
my
same.
Goodness, they're in every windowsill, every single windowsill. They're all over my bay door screens. It's awful.
Well, I can tell you, first off, you're not alone because this week I caught like 3 in the bathroom and they stink to high heaven. So, Denny, how do we get them out?
Well, whoa. I just want to make sure that everybody in the house is taking a regular shower or a bath. I mean.
Oh, no, it's those beetles.
Oh, sure, it's the beetles.
Oh, no, they have a specific stink to them.
They do.
Here, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get in for the warmth. They're not stupid. But as far as getting rid of them, Jack, I don't have a clue.
No, I would.
I'm sorry.
You don't have anything?
Like the Asian lady beetle, is that what I heard? Because it's not a Japanese beetle we're talking about.
Yeah, it's sort of like a ladybug is basically what it is. Yeah, there's stink bugs and ladybugs. And
I would almost think a sticky trap on the window would be your best bet.
Look at you.
They're not going to climb into anything, or typically ladybug isn't a pest, so it's hard to have a trap designed.
Ladybug is really one of the good bugs that we have out there, Patty, because they eat aphids. But right now, aphids are not in a good supply. So the prevention is the big thing. Sealing the cracks and the openings. But they're just seeking shelter in the homes during the fall and winter. So if we seal them up, then we've got it. Now, as far as the infestation, probably Allison has just shared something with me, a vacuum cleaner. Now, diatomaceous earth might work also. And diatomaceous earth, when we look at it underneath a microscope, it looks like little needles and very, very sharp things. But that is ingested by those type of animals because it sort of looks like aphids, but it doesn't. And when they ingest it, it sort of gouges out their intestines and they die. But you can vacuum them up. And Allison, I think that's the best thing I saw on that list.
Yeah, vacuum up. And then, like you said, spraying outside too, just around those windowsills and the cracks in the doors, and just kind of keep on that for right now. But yeah, I think it's just now that it's warmer, I guess the eggs are hatching. Is that gross to say?
Well, thanks for the phone call, Patty. Appreciate you calling.
And I'll bring this up next week too with Pat because he usually has a couple traps that he really likes. So I'll make a note of that because
Personally, I have had them all in our bathroom this week too, and they're annoying and disgusting. And then I find my dog eating them. So
I would blame it on your dad's dump truck, is what I would do. All right, next up here on the Home and Garden Show, we've got Jeff. Hey, Jeff, welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
I remember that.
Oh, beautiful voice. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
How you been?
Fine, thank you. While the cats play, the mice will play, and you guys, as usual, are doing a wonderful job while the boss is away. So
it's so
we
relaxing.
are trying.
It's so relaxing, Jeff. It's just really nice.
Well,
what have you got for us, buddy?
Well, I'll tell you. The reason I called is, the lovely Mrs. Regular Jeff has already got her starts down in the basement with the lighting, and she uses a lot of heirloom seeds, for our garden. But my question is, she makes a jalapeno candied jam or jelly or something like that. That's totally awesome.
It's delightful. That's called Sweet Heat. That's called Sweet Heat, Jeff. And people who do their morning or evening biscuits, that is really one great jelly.
Well, one of the functions that's going to happen there, I'm going to bring you guys all up a jar for Terry and for all of you. So, my question is this: you usually have those two young ladies on that are the jalapeno specialists.
Pepper ladies.
The pepper ladies. That's right.
Ladies. Are they scheduled soon? So I know what time. I'm going to buy.
Well, I'd be glad to reach out to them. It's Jenny Eckert and Tiny Lambert, or I've got maybe Jenny Lambert and Tiny Eckert. I might get mixed up, but they're the pepper ladies. I'll reach out to them. Let me ask you why you would want to know here in the springtime.
Well, here's what's going to happen. Like I said, I'm wanting to buy some starts, some extra ones. Usually, Nikki uses. She'll use heirlooms and everything, from the peppers from the year before and jalapenos and everything's great. But I want to go with some really, really hot ones. And if they're scheduled to be on the show again, I'll just go ahead and, look for a place, whether it's Sullivan's or wherever.
You know what? I'll reach out to them and we'll try to get them on next week. But here's the thing. Peppers, you should already have a good start. They should already have broken the surface, because that is the longest of the growing cycles. I mean, we're talking...
The more heat, the longer germination, right?
That's exactly right, Jeff.
Yeah, they're already in the basement. She has starts in there. We just haven't transferred them to the garden yet. She's got all her regular.
I think it's interesting that you're looking for the heat. You don't impress me as a guy that likes the hot mouth. Now, these pepper ladies, they really,
I was going to say, this does not surprise me.
Oh, that Jeff's a hot mouther?
He spits fire.
All right, Jeff, I'll do my best to track down the pepper ladies. If they're listening, Jenny and Tiny, you reach out to me, but I'll one way or another, we'll try to get them on next week, okay?
Right on. Thanks for the time. I'll see you guys.
Thanks, Jeff.
I do know, too, aren't they part of the Hamilton County Master Gardeners?
Absolutely.
So I think usually they say you can just reach out through their website, and usually they can connect you that way, too, if you have any questions for them. Because they are knowledgeable.
I have their cell phone numbers.
Okay, well, you could have given one to Jeff.
Contact. Yeah, I'm not giving them to Jeff. Jeff, I can't trust Jeff with the pepper ladies.
Oh, well.
Regular Jeff's wife.
Yeah, think about her.
She might hold court that way. That's really good. All right. Well, you know what? Michaelis is our proud sponsor. The Michaelis Corporation, family business, water storms, fire and wet basements, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. If you ever need them, it's 844-FIX-INDY. Right now, I'm hoping that Michaela is ready to join us. Michaela, welcome to the Home and Garden Show. How are you?
Good. Happy Saturday. How are you guys doing today?
I did not survive the windstorm of 3 weeks ago, and I had to do some shingle replacements, and it was really rough. But you are the one that sort of focuses on roofing inspections, are you not?
Correct. So we've had a lot of high winds lately. There was a point where I thought our house blew away. We were going to land in Kansas. Thankfully, we're still here in Indy. But so what Michaelis does, we have a roofing and exterior specialist that if you think you have any wind, storm, wear and tear to your roof right now, you want to go ahead and get ahead of those April showers, bring May flowers types of storms. But our roofing and exterior specialist, he's going to come out, take a look. He's going to walk around your house, make sure there's no damages, maybe maybe patio furniture may have hit some vinyl siding, or the kids' patio toys blowing around during those winds. But he's going to take a look, make sure everything looks good, and then he's going to get on the roof. He's going to safely get on your roof, of course. We don't want him just jumping up there, but he's going to look around. He's going to look for those common areas where there could be damage, around your chimney, flashing, in the valleys. Take a look at your gutters, and just make sure that you haven't received any of those recent windstorm damages. He'll look for tree impacts as well. If your neighbor kicked their soccer ball up there last fall, he's going to kick that down for you. But he's going to take a lot of pictures for you as well, because if you're like me, you're not climbing up on the roof, so you have no idea what it looks like up there. So he's going to take
here's a quick question.
Pictures.
Here's a quick question, Michaela. Let's say that you've lost a shingle. I was talking to, I can't even remember it was Richard or who it was that told me that there's a way to figure out what color your shingle was for replacements. What do you guys do if there's just a couple of shingles blown off, but the homeowner does not have their own shingles?
So what we would do, we have suppliers that we work with. So we will take your shingle and we will send it off for sampling, and it'll come back and they'll go, this is a like, kind, and quality. This is a similar color or an exact color. So we will work with repairing those few shingles that may be damaged, because you don't always need a new roof, and no one wants to spend for a full new roof replacement if you don't have to. So we can make repairs. We're going to find a shingle that looks just like the one you had, so we can replace it, and it seamlessly blends in with your existing roof.
Sounds great. Now, when I call the 844-FIX-INDY and I've got a roofing situation, do I just say, I need roofing, or do we ask for Michaela by name? What do we do?
We can certainly ask for Michaela. I'd be happy to speak with anyone. But just let our customer support specialist know, hey, I've got some wind damages, some roof damages, and I just want to have you guys out to take a look. We're going to get you scheduled. Right now, we're scheduling same week. So if you think you've got something going on, Monday, give us a call. We're going to get you scheduled. We'll be out this week. We're going to have pictures and estimate, everything ready for you, so you can get that roof put back in top shape.
That's really great. Michaela, thanks for taking time to call in with us. Now, one more thing. You can do repairs and you can do a whole roof job. Is that correct?
We certainly can. Absolutely.
We love it. Michaela Schroeder from Michaelis Corporation, we sure appreciate you calling in. Thanks, Michaela.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, it's the Michaelis Corporation, water, storms, fire, and wet basements. You heard the type of people they have. Pretty nice people to invite over to your home.
What a lovely lady. I want to keep talking to her.
I'd invite her over. Anyway, it's the Michaelis Corporation.
Oh, Denny.
Happens to help you through the problems you might have. 844-FIX-INDY, right here on 93 WIBC. Well, if you're in a place where you can go to Facebook Live, we are going live as we speak.
Oh, right now?
Right now, 3, 2, 1. Jack and Allison are now on Facebook Live.
Oh, well, hello, everybody.
We're at 71st and Keystone. So we've been talking about Pansy Roulette. And Allison, real quick, let's talk about Pansy Roulette before we get to the planning.
Yeah, so we're here at 71st in Keystone at Sullivan Hardware for their spring open house. And we have Pansy Roulette. So if you go around, shop around the store, and then at the cashier's station, what is it called? Register.
The registers.
He makes me nervous now that there's a camera in my face. You're going to pick a Pansy, and then they'll reveal a discount. So you get between 10 and 100% off your
very
discount.
Important. Do not open that discount until the cashiers are doing it. Otherwise, you could get the 100 and it's void.
And how sad would that be?
Oh, God. Would that be a maximum level of grouchiness?
But
all right.
So since Terry Stacy is at the State Fairgrounds today, I like also that our engineer is telling Denny how to direct the iPhone.
This is a really on-the-fly kind of spring craft project.
Yeah, so since we don't have Craft Corner with Terry this week, I thought Jack could help us out because he is also very talented in the container department, and I am not. So he's going to teach me some things
today.
today.
Could make the bowl that's for the professionals. I'll show you how to make a bowl that's for the average homeowner.
Love it.
That anybody like Allison could even do.
All right, you start off with a bucket of dirt.
So we've got our dirt here, and that's just potting soil, like she said, and we have it a little firm, packed down in there just so when we plant, things aren't moving around.
So how much dirt is this, you think? Like if I just get like a little
about a cubic foot, a little
8 quart.
I would say 8 quarts not enough, maybe a cubic
16?
foot back.
Okay. Oh, really?
Maybe a 16 quart.
And how big is this pot, you'd say?
This pot is 12 inches.
12 inches, okay.
The number's on the bottom, that wasn't enough.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but to start, we still have our 3 elements: thriller, filler, and spiller. I may be swapping out our spiller for a chiller today.
Oh,
if that's
Denny
okay.
recommended.
So we're just going to go for some pansies. We have some fun kind of bright painted faces. There's some solid colors. Do you have a preference?
Let's go with yellow because spring is Flores Amarillos. It's the Spanish
Yellow Flower Day.
Yellow Flower Day. That's right.
So pansies are so easy. They come in a flat of 18. And then to get it out, I usually just squeeze the side and then just let it fall right out.
And they are on sale right now for $24.99 a flat, and that's a lot. That's a lot of pansies for $24.
And with Pansy Roulette, extra 10% off of that.
Oh, that's right. And you get one free little pansy.
On your way out. So we're just going to dig a little hole in here. Again, you're not going to want to pack it too tight, and then our pansy just goes right in.
Do you squish the roots and Pat calls it tickling, but I don't like that word.
In a summer annual, I would. You can kind of.
But for pansies, it's not really necessary.
Tease the roots.
Yeah.
So you could cut it. Yeah. I'll be honest. When I've done that with pansies in the past, it tends to stress them out too much, so they get a little too hot in the heat.
Denny, why did you hand me a pocket knife?
He wanted to tease it.
Oh, okay.
Give me back my knife. You don't know how to tease with
I don't know how to close it either.
So we're just going to stick it right down in there, and you can kind of tease the roots, but that's it.
Okay.
And then we're just going to keep going around. So I'll go ahead and let you do that.
How do you do spacing with these? Because I feel like I either overcrowd it or I'm put way
So it's personal
too much
style.
space.
I tend to overplant because I like it to look like they've been growing together this whole time.
Because they are for spring, right? So it's going to last till probably June?
So yeah,
Ideally?
maybe like right after Mother's Day.
I was going to say petunias and pansies, they sort of pass each other in the night. Petunias take over when pansies die out.
And then what's fun about these two, let's say you did have it in a fiber pot. If you took this pot and put it in a shadier spot somewhere in the backyard, there's a great chance come fall, when it gets a little cooler again, they'll start to bloom again.
I love
so you
that.
can hang on to it.
So is this your thriller right here?
So this is our thriller, kind of our height in the middle.
Yeah.
And so this is a stalk. It has a little fragrance to it.
It's cute with the little purple flowers on
Right?
top.
And then we're going to put that right in the middle, again, because it's going to grow taller than the pansies.
And it's towering over everything. Do you put it's personal preference. Do you put like 3 or 4 of these or just one?
I'll probably just do one because then we have one more thriller we can do in the middle.
Oh, double thriller?
And that's kind of, so the chiller is coming into play. And that would just be these little pussy willow stems. And those just go right in the middle for some height.
Ooh.
How high? And if you don't want them that tall, you just cut them off.
You just cut them. I'd say that's a little too tall.
Yeah. You want the knife back?
Well, I don't trust myself with the knife, but I will cheat.
These kind of look like aliens.
Let's see it. Thank you.
Alien antennas. A little bit. It's
there
creative.
Here we go.
Okay, so we got
So
we got
that's a little bit better. There you
the
go.
thriller.
The spiller.
And what
I guess
was
our
this
chiller
one?
would be the pansy here.
Okay.
They will start to spill out.
Okay.
And then our filler, the pansies and stalk in the middle. So they're all kind of playing.
Oh, perfect.
dual
Okay.
role today.
Okay.
So you can't see what he's doing exactly, but what he's doing is he's just sort of spreading that potting soil apart with his fingers, and then you just jam it down in there. You really do want it to be soiled to the plant pot mix that you've got, because that root ball is right there, and if we tease it right and get enough moisture in there, those roots will just go right on out into your potting mix.
And then you can see, so all these white roots are roots that are actively growing. So this pansy's just ready to go.
Looks like my roots last week before I got them dyed.
Yeah. Gray? No.
Hey, this is looking pretty good, kids. I like this.
Wow.
I like this.
I did so much.
So it's literally something anybody could come in and do, and everything you see here is 10% off.
At least
10 to 100% off.
Yeah, we don't know.
And it goes with Allison's purple top just perfectly.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Very springy.
Very springy.
So again, the 3 things that you need to do a good container.
Yes. Good. The thriller, the spiller,
spiller,
and the filler.
and the filler. So we've got the fillings right here.
The thriller,
which is the tall things in the middle, and then the spiller would be the pansies that we're just gonna
and y'all
flow
notice
on.
that they really have made a mess of the broad table, but that's where
It's the home and garden show.
But
We have to get our hands
We've
dirty.
had so much fun here today doing this bowl.
You do.
I've never had more fun in my whole life.
Fun with Jack and Allison. This is your craft corner.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's a Jack Attack craft corner.
Jack Attack.
Stay
there you
tuned.
go.
We'll try to finish the backside later.
Well, thanks, kid.
Thanks, Jack. I
Well
appreciate
done.
it. Yeah, perfect.
So, and our thanks to the cameraman, Cam.
Yeah, and thank you, Cam, for taking over for Denny, because Denny usually wraps me up way too early.
Oh, there's some questions. Oh, perfect. I'll read those questions once I get my hands clean.
All right.
But thank you, Jack. I appreciate it. And if anyone has any questions about container gardening, Jack is also at our Allisonville location, and he is a great person as well to ask questions.
If you're at Keystone, ask for Jenny. If you're at Allisonville, feel free to ask for me.
Exactly.
What Jack doesn't get enough credit for is he's just a nice guy. I mean,
he is. I mean, he hung out with us for 4 hours.
Again.
Yeah.
Again.
I'm pretty sure that Pat told him to, but he's really good at this, and I appreciate having him. Listen, the speed round is coming up when we return here, but so get on board here. Area code 317-239-9393. Before we get to that, Allison?
Yeah, so Charlie asked a question during the Facebook Live. Do you put anything in the bottom so water doesn't drip through, or does that mean you're watering it too much?
So you could put something down here for such a short seasonal thing. I probably wouldn't. Pansies can be fine with typical rainfall we have.
Okay.
If it gets hot, you'd have to water, but I wouldn't worry about it for this.
Does that fibrous pot, does it wick away water?
It will, but not nearly as much as it will drain out the sides.
Okay.
Once it's saturated, it's just kind of a container.
Pretty cool. Jack, you got real talent there, and you're a nice guy.
You should do that for a living.
I think that stubby little pussy willow needs to just be thrown away.
That little guy.
Oh, turn him upside down. There you go. You planted the pussy willow upside down?
I will say, I do like the thing about container gardening is I feel like it is hard to mess up once you have like the 3 things you need because they're all flowers and they're all plants. It's going to look good.
And you just tell somebody, no, it'll look so much fuller in a week when it grows out.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, it's the Home and Garden Show. Coming back, we're going to be doing the speed round. Speed round is brought to you by Thompson Furniture down in Bartholomew County. Room for your phone call, 317-239-9393. 317-239-9393, right here on 93 WIBC.
I thought we already started. Darn it! Darn it!
Come on.
I was going to do it great. I was on a roll and landed even have my mic up. Okay.
Swaying again.
Okay. Listeners, pretend this is the first time we're coming back. All right. It's been a long 4 hours. No Pat, no Terry, but we had Jack, and thank God for that. It's the speed round where we answer your questions like the speed of lightning, and you want to talk about your Sullivan discount. And that's okay. Who's ready for the speed round? Who?
I'm ready.
You can't handle it, Jack. The speed round is brought to you by
Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, the pride of Bartholomew County. Great pricing on Lazy Boy, Indiana-made Smith Brothers furniture, mattresses made in Indiana, and of course, maintenance-free outdoor furniture with free delivery up to 75 miles. It's ThompsonFurniture.net.
All right, and who do we have first on the list, Denny?
First up for us is Mr. Brian. Brian, thanks for calling in the speed round.
Hey, thank you. Just a quick thing. I don't think anybody there knows what a Japanese beetle really is because it's not a ladybug and it's not like a stink bug, a shield bug type thing. It's a green beetle and it's real shiny on the back.
Yeah, I think we call them. I think we interchange them because I agree. Every time people call in all the time, including myself, about how to get rid of Japanese beetles. But yeah, it is those other stink bugs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And what we know, Brian, is when callers come in, we know what type of beetle has sort of come in. We're just trying to meet them where they are. But you're right. The green ones are coming in, late July?
Yeah, they're and they get on plants and flowers and stuff. They're really annoying. I think they munch things, but I used to have a way of getting rid of them. I had a pond behind my house, and I just kind of shared them with the fish and let them join the whole chain. Of
great!
Circle of life.
Yeah,
that's kind of a good idea.
Circle of life. Hey, Brian, thanks for the phone call. That was a speed round. I don't think. Did you really say the circle of life? Okay, Linda, welcome to the speed round. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. You know what? It's been a fun day. I miss getting beat up by Pat, but really...
Me too.
Nothing better. Me getting beat up by Pat? Yeah. So nothing better than Allison and Jack here. So. What you got, Linda?
Well, I want to know how to clean a toilet tank.
Okay, so is it a dark stain or is it a white stain?
Well, it's neither. It's kind of like a powdery something inside the tank, and it comes down into the toilet, and then it makes a ring around.
Yeah. Here's a couple things you can do before you clean it. Lift up the tank lid in the back, and then depending on what type of water fluid controlled, we call it a ball cock, but it's called a fluid control device, and activate it so the water keeps going and goes over the overflow tube and pulls all of that white junk out. At the same time you're holding the bobber down so more water comes in, just take your hands around the rim, sort of clean it up, dress it up a little bit, and sort of nudge it towards that 1-inch overflow tube. Now, that's how you get rid of the stuff on the top. Now, to get rid of the rest of it, you sort of have to turn off you have to turn off the toilet, drain the tank, and then you're going to get a little bit aggressive with something that scrubs just a little bit.
Did you usually suggest a pumice stone or something?
Pumice stone.
Pumice stone?
A pumice stone is a pumice stone or a pumice stone. Either one will work.
I get mine at Dollar General, so they call it pumice.
Dollar General.
But
go ahead, Linda.
No, I said I have some of the pumice sticks.
Okay, perfect. Good. Well, that's what I would use. You have to keep it moist, and it'll sound like it's grinding away. You can't hurt the pottery unless you're Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just don't get too aggressive with it. But then keep the water coming in and flushing that down the overflow tube or into the flushometer down below. But it is cleanable. A lot of people think we're crazy when we clean our tanks, but I'm like you, Linda. It grosses me out, and I'm going to take care of cleaning it up.
Right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. And promise me this, Linda. Don't ever put your toilet seat in the dishwasher.
That was my next thing.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Tip of the week.
Did you hear that yesterday?
I heard about that.
Yeah. I just have never heard anything like that.
Yeah, I think most of us are agreeing not to do it.
Linda, thanks for your phone call. Have a good week, okay?
Thank you. You too.
All right, real quick, we got just enough time for Fulton. We missed him earlier.
Save the best for last.
The best for last. Hey, Fulton, how are you?
Hey, great. How you guys doing?
Good deal. Sorry we missed you, buddy. How'd your basketball game go?
Well, we got beat pretty bad.
That's okay.
I don't know if it's okay or not. Are you going to be able to go to sleep tonight? Is it bumming you that much? Are you okay?
I'm all right. It's just a game. I was trying to get more. I was trying to get some rebounds and passes and shots, but I couldn't.
Yeah, sometimes it's just not your day.
Yeah.
And sometimes the other team's just better.
And it's always, like you said too, it's just about having fun too. Yeah. So that's good.
There you go.
Are you practicing for any concerts coming up?
Hopefully soon.
Okay.
Well, good.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for your phone call. Keep your chin up. It's just one ball game.
Listen to JMV Takeover.
That's right.
And it's
90s
on B105.7. And don't forget to listen to him on the Fan on 107.5 and 93.5.
You're the best cross-promotion kid I've ever had. This is great.
He needs to start paying you, Fulton.
Yeah, you guys need to.
Yeah, don't be bashful. All right, Fulton.
Good to hear from you, Fulton. We'll hear from you next week.
You guys.
All right. Well, Jack Phipps, thank you for coming in. Of course. I really do like you better than Pat.
Oh, stop.
We'll just keep that between us.
Yeah. No, we won't. I'll tell Pat next week.
I recorded it. I just sent that to him.
All right, Allison, we've got a couple seminars, and then explain this pansy roulette one more time.
Yes. So, again, spring open houses here at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, 71st and Keystone, and at our Allisonville location, we have seminars going on today. We have two more, one at 1 o'clock for the Planting 101, and then we also have a container planting demo at 2 o'clock, and those are both free, and you just come in to the shop at the store, and then when you're done with that, you can shop around and get yourself some home decor items, garden accents and pottery, bird seed, grill accessories, some maybe live plants and seed packets, and then you're going to stop at the cashiers and grab a pansy, and that little pansy is going to reveal if you have a 10 to 100% off discount. But the trick is the cashier has to open it.
Do not open it.
So do not open it, but you can pick whatever pansy you want.
Now, do you get to keep the pansy?
And you get to keep the little pansy, which I think is kind of fun.
You get to keep the pansy, and then Jack and I are going to get the Baron Burton's W sauce. And there's two different varieties. If you don't like the heat, don't get the fire and sauce. get the W sauce. And but anyway, this will be fun. This was,
and that's what we're doing. Food samples as well all day today, and that was mixed with one of the snacks we had today.
Yeah, that Wex mix
Chex
was
Mix.
great.
Yeah, so it's basically a Chex Mix, but he used this W sauce that Denny has, which is kind of cool.
Very good. And I do want to remind you, too, that the Yetis, I've got a Yeti here in front of me, and our Christmas presents, of course, this year had Pat's picture on the Yeti. But if you have a picture, maybe it's of your dog or your mom and dad or whatever, and you want to put it on the side, as long as you give them 3 to 5 hours to do it, they laser that right on there.
Oh, they can do it a lot quicker than that.
And they didn't even charge me for it.
So it's funny that you say that. I brought my Yeti with Pat's face on it to my hair salon the other day, and I forgot what cup I grabbed. And my hairdresser was just like, "Who's that middle-aged man on your cup?"
Middle-aged.
And I was like, "Oh, it's a long story."
Yeah,
so.
It's a long story.
Anyway, thank you guys for putting up with us today. Thanks for
really
hanging out, Denny, Jack. We appreciate you both.
Of course.
Allison, I like you as a hostess. You're really good at this.
I'm exhausted.
No, you're not.
Now I know why Pat's grumpy all the time.
Yeah,
the rest of the
it's
day.
for a lot of reasons. Trust me. During the week, if you've got questions, reach out to me. It's Denny at WIBC.com. If you've got a question and it thinks it's going to take a little bit longer, send me a text message to my cell phone, 317-690, see the aviation talk, 690-7767. I always try to get back to you, but right now, final thank you to Michaelis Corporation. We sure appreciate your sponsorship. If you need help, you reach out to them at 844-FIX-INDY. Abdul is next right here on 93 WIBC.